Yeah, I was what I'm saying. Could be the same theory there too, but it's twofold meaning. That's why stairway sung. Words have two meanings. They have nouns and verb
Oh,
meaning.
yeah.
Right.
Greek and Hebrew. My birds are looking for me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're live now. Wonder if anybody's going to join us. Hey, did you notice if they promoted this at all?
No, I didn't get no notes to play along.
Huh.
Strumming that guitar, people.
That sucks.
Oh, yeah, I remember what I was... Well, the other part of that thing. So one day I was looking at the Sunoco sign. And I'm like, Sunoco, what the fuck? And then it just all clicked in my head. Not sure that it's all exactly right, but...
Well, it's the subway, too. You know, the S and the goes out the bottom, the subway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because now I read these Emerald tablets. I don't know if you followed, my journey as far as that goes, but
yeah,
I read it now, and that's what I wanted to read a little bit of it today, and just, I mean, once you start looking at things like you just said, in a sun way or in the solar way, yeah, the light way, it's how everything fits it. I mean, everything from allegory to children's rhymes to nursery rhymes to the Bible to everything.
Everything.
How about this one?
It's just crazy.
I'll post it and you guys will. I'll find it and I'll post it and you guys will probably fall over.
Anyway, Steve, did that video explain things to you a little bit?
What video?
The one I sent you. You were saying something about earlier. I thought you were saying something about it earlier.
No, what did you?
I sent you last night about the golden something or golden egg, I think it was called.
No, I haven't seen that because I was working all night, plowing snow. From the minute we were finished here yesterday, I went and plowed snow from that second on.
Yeah, about an hour before you sent the email for this meeting today, I was going to actually email you and be like, "Wake up, sleepyhead."
No, I can only sleep 2 or 3 hours a night. I don't know why, but.
Oh, sorry. Dang. I'm not trying to share this with us.
Was it Rainbow yesterday that was saying something about she wanted to do like readings or something for people for donations?
Yeah.
I heard her say that, and I didn't get the chance to double back and get her info and stuff. But we got to make sure we get that info out there so people can take her up on that.
Oh yeah, she's pretty good at getting her info out there.
Yeah, I wanted to ask her how she was doing this up. I had a couple things and had an idea. I can definitely donate to her. She can do it, you know.
Oh yeah. She'll probably end up joining us, I would imagine, because she's a go-getter like that.
I missed that information too.
What happened here?
What, the screen?
Yeah.
It's because I didn't. It's because I didn't have my video going, because I don't want anybody seeing me right now because I haven't combed my hair even.
Oh.
Yeah, you got the video turned up.
So you guys can, if you guys turn your video on,
just can't. You got it turned off.
I don't know what I did. I'm still.
Oh, I got to do it in my corner here. Okay, I got you.
Hear me? Am I here?
No. Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. I'm looking at black screen now. I don't know what I did.
How can I get my video?
I think from the participants you gotta.
Oh, there you go. Now you guys got center. Okay, now my Sky's 5D. I wanted to ask you a question about that Unfuck It podcast. What is that? What is the name of that channel? Is it? All right, who's playing music?
Oh, my wife. I'm
So,
tossing around
Rodney,
the
is your wife? Oh, let's introduce
Is that who
Jerry.
Rodney?
Go ahead.
What, is that
No,
who I was
man.
talking to at the beginning? Rodney?
Yes. Nice
I'm
to
hearing
meet you.
voices. Nice meeting you.
And then we got Eric and Angel. Angel Fiery Petals.
I'm not fiery right now. I can't see my screen or anything.
What?
So what were you saying about my wife, Steve?
Oh,
She just thinks
is
I'm
she
crazy.
awake? Is she on your plane?
What did I do?
I try, but she's not. She thinks I'm nuts, I think, sometimes. I
Join the club.
don't know. I'm trying, man.
Yeah, it's an impossible task. If somebody doesn't doesn't want to hear it, they're not going to hear it. I mean,
No, and most people, I really don't have anybody to bounce these theories off of. You know what I mean? Not around me.
right.
Yeah, that
Me
would
either.
anyhow.
Because
Not you
I
now.
don't have a total understanding myself. You know.
Right. Yeah. Takes each other.
Me either.
Hence the reason why I'm doing this, is so we can bounce some ideas off each other.
Brainstorm.
I am the storm.
Yeah.
Brainstorm.
My stuff is buffering bad
It
here.
looks like an error occurred on the YouTube video. It's just.
Yeah, I see that.
Let me
Are you in a
refresh.
Starbucks?
Okay, there.
Is it working now?
Yeah, I hit refresh
Yeah.
and it came back. It's buffering, but it's video. I'm trying to figure out why I got two screens on Zoom now all of a sudden. Like,
What?
I can see my main screen where I can get to like the panelist stuff, and then I can
Oh,
see
because
another
I got
window.
because I did a hide view on myself.
That's
Does
why
this change it back to normal?
I still got two of them. I'm gonna leave and come back. This is weird.
Yeah, I see both.
Can you
Eric.
do that?
You see both what?
His Eric R, and then he said that other name he was under. So he had two screens open.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do that and try to come back and if I can get off the black screen. I don't know how to work this phone. I'm on a phone.
Yeah, working on a phone's kind of hard.
Yeesh.
Working on a phone and driving's hard too.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
All right.
Everything is
He's
just
back.
It still opened up two damn windows again.
I cannot get past my wall. Okay, I'm just
How did it? Oh, because you're
Looks like somebody else is. Oh, you know what? I think I got the setting on here to use dual screen. Hold on, let me fix that. I was playing with the settings yesterday. I like set up the camera and stuff. But I can't use a camera. Somebody's got me blocked.
Bill, if you weren't on my lap, I could probably reach a little better, but I don't want you to leave, honey.
Dual monitors. There we go. Turn that off.
so. Whereabouts do you live, Rodney?
Bloomington, Indiana, Southern Indiana.
Oh, I was under the impression you lived over in the UK for some reason.
No. Live in the woods. Not really in the woods, but there's a lot of national forests around.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Who just dropped out?
I don't know.
Eric.
I can't see anything. Somebody said they were going to come back.
But I've been to Minnesota. I'm not sure where you are in Minnesota.
I'm
But
in Oakdale, right by the Twin Cities.
Okay,
how
my
close
daughter.
to Rochester, Minnesota, Mayo Clinic are you? That's where I was going.
About 40 miles.
Yeah. So I went up there about every 6 months for several years. It's a long drive, man.
From where you're at?
Yeah.
I'm in Indiana right now.
Are you? Where?
Yeah. I'm up in Wabash, and I have a daughter in LaGros.
Wabash. How close to Crawfordsville is Wabash?
I do not know the answer to that. I'm up here from Texas, so I don't get out much, and I haven't traveled, but I know it's very north.
North of Indianapolis?
Yes.
Is the live feed still frozen, guys? On YouTube?
Oh, I only got the chat on the out. Let me look. Yes, frozen.
What? There's a chat on here too. I'm not seeing anything but my wallpaper. I did something. I'm gonna have to try this again.
Oh, you're probably in full screen. Hit escape.
What did I do?
She's on a phone.
It flips back and forth on the icon. I guess it must do it by audio.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll come up with your icon as you speak. There.
So can I play a video real quick and just
Yes, you can.
I'm gonna miss.
opinion?
Yep, you can do that.
All right, give me a second here.
Can I ask a question, Steve?
What's up?
When I started this, when I first got on, it said something about record.
Did you hit record?
I hit allow. I didn't know what, but is that necessary?
Well, I'm recording it through Zoom.
Okay, so on my end, I don't.
No, you don't need to record on your end unless
No.
you're gonna
Okay.
cut it up and put it on your own channel. I mean, then you
I
can.
don't have a channel. Maybe I should have one, but I don't.
But anybody that wants to join can go into the comment section down below and hit the link and come in if they want.
Comment. Okay. I'm taking notes because I can't see anything. I don't want to hit any buttons and get lost further. Because I'm learning all this technology now that I'm able to join.
I mean, it looks like she's working good because when she talks, her icon comes up.
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out what she means by blank screen. Like,
too many people in here for video.
I think I backed out too far or something because I'm looking at like a picture that I put on there for a wallpaper.
No, that's normal if unless you activate your video, go to the video thing.
I cannot get past it. I got 3 sections. I can hit the triangle, the circle, or the square, and I don't know what either of them are gonna do.
triangle, circle, the square. What are you on a PlayStation?
Well, that's
I know, right?
like a power button.
No, it didn't work on a PlayStation, but I tried it. Seriously.
All right. Hold on.
I'm afraid if I hit either one of them, I'm going to be out.
Because the circle ought to be the back button.
That's what I'm thinking. And then the
X would be
the new phone. I shattered my old phone. I knew so well.
Oh.
The triangle takes you up, I guess, into your subconscious.
I'm going to hit it.
He said the triangle takes you up to your subconscious.
I'm going to have to. I'm just going to stay where I'm at right now.
Hey, you're working just fine. So, yeah, hold tight.
Okay. I'll figure it out. Smart one over here.
Don't know if we can actually like.
Everything going good, right?
If you put this on YouTube, Steve, there's going to be an awful lot of trying to figure out what's going on.
Well, it's on YouTube right now, live streaming.
People are probably laughing.
I don't care.
These guys don't know what they're doing on their phones.
No,
I don't
just
actually know if
me.
I could play that.
I don't know.
I'm messing with settings and everything right now, so.
I got that video up. I started sharing it. Then I'm like, wait, I don't know if I should share it. Consider you're broadcasting on YouTube.
It doesn't matter because I don't have anything monetized, so it doesn't matter.
Welcome to the first day out of the rat race.
Yeah.
Now someone's calling. Really?
All right, I'm gonna put my video up. This video up here. Tell me if you can see it.
How are you doing that?
How can I do?
Yes, I can see it.
All right, I can't see.
Oh, I did watch this.
How are you doing the sharing of the video?
There's a share. If you're on your phone, it might not. It might be a little more difficult.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're on the phone, I can't help you. I don't use those stupid little things except for to talk to people.
The tracker bots.
I'm getting a laptop.
That's what's funny. I'm an IT guy for 25 years, and I refuse to use these stupid little phones, cancer little generators.
Little
Okay,
NSA
so
accumulators.
What's your share here for, Eric? What are you trying to show us?
I was just gonna have show a little video here. It's under 3 minutes. It's maybe a good little conversation starter between people. Give some people to think about, and maybe explain some sayings that they've heard before, which kind of made no sense, and you can't really put your mind around. I think maybe
Sounds good.
So we'll check it out.
Awesome. Belle, come on, can you move over just a little bit? Oh my goodness. Honey, you're getting too big to sit on the chair.
Do you got your audio on it?
Yeah.
I'm not getting audio.
Is it coming through fine? Because the YouTube looks like it's behind.
You are
no audio.
All right, hold on a second. Let me restart it and go back because I unmuted it before I unpaused it, but I don't see it on YouTube as of yet. So I'm not sure if anybody's even seeing it or what.
What's the name of it?
It is. I will put the link here at least into YouTubeville.
Mercy. What have I done?
So live chat.
How do I get out of here?
Might just be easy. I'm not sure if we got the buffering. It looks like, but I pasted the link into the YouTube chat, so we should be at least people can pull it up and watch it on their own at the very least.
What's the summary of it?
Yeah, what's the summary of it?
I can't. I don't. You gotta watch it. It explains itself.
Well, it's the mustard seed analogy in the Bible of what everything is. How all of our creation is in one little tight little bundle, and it's right.
Kind of, sort of, kind of like little nuggets in there, like where they get the Big Bang Theory, possibly.
Yeah, is that the one where he says that there's aeon? There was an aeon before our aeon.
Don't believe so. This is.
Hit play again and see if it works.
All right, let me make sure because the YouTube side of things looks like it's just.
I think that's my connection. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go into my house and figure this out.
A button. Triangle.
All right, you want to just maybe like record it and put it up on YouTube later?
Well, just hit play and see, because I mean
if you know what video it is, Steve, you ought to be able to pull it up yourself. You know, what I mean, off him.
Well, I suppose I could do that, huh? Duh.
And then maybe it'd be faster.
Yeah, that might work out better instead of sharing it through. Put the link in there. We should be able to find it.
If I hit the square.
Okay.
What was the title of this video?
The Gold Luminous Egg.
Golden butt nugget.
All right. What screen are you guys seeing right now?
Your screen.
I found you. I see a
black hole.
Okay, you're my desktop, right?
Yeah, I see your desktop.
Yeah, Zoom is your desktop. YouTube's is
Here we go.
getting feedback
I
now.
see.
Jesus.
That's you. Yay.
Feedback.
Are
Yeah,
you?
some
I can't. It's too
I got to
small.
close out some screens, I think.
Okay.
sounds like she can see now, but now we're getting feedback.
Yes. Static.
Oh, so she broke it.
Was it me? Did I do that?
Was-
Okay. It's called the luminous egg, right?
The luminous egg. Okay, I'm playing catch up here, so I'm taking notes. Let's see what's in this. Healing. Okay.
Gold luminous. There you go.
Snapshot. And
Boy, it looks like it's like 120p.
With endless expanse and wonders to behold.
Do you hear it?
Yeah.
Opening to possibilities and wonderment of it all. Slowly, cosmologists try to unravel the mysteries of the universe. How it all began, the black hole mysteries, and more questions arise each day as new findings are revealed. Then, there are those earnest seekers of the truth, who have in some way pulled their consciousness to have a direct experience with the universe. Itzhak Bentov was one of these individuals, lovingly called Ben by those who knew him well. What would it be like if you had full access to the universe, unfolding its secrets for you as fast as you could postulate questions and ideas? Journey now with us from the creation of this universe to beyond the Great Wall, as seen by true mystic and seeker of truth. After a long time of contemplation in the great void, the creator of this universe moved and became manifest in order to evolve. Then, outlining a part of the void by enveloping it in an ovoid shape of golden light.
Think MasterCard symbol?
This creator is not male or female, but both as one. And in order to activate the process of evolution, they have to separate and move to opposite ends of the cosmic egg. Once separated, they want to come together again. The whole cosmic egg shakes with the tension of this separation. Then, the positive extends with a thunderous sound, and as the creator moves to the center of the egg, protospace begins to flow along the sides of the egg, outlining the area where space-time and matter will be. Matter fills the matrix, and evolution begins. Looking closer at the universal center, we find a quantum singularity, a white hole and a black hole side by side. One recycling all matter and universe, and the other the source of all light and matter.
Now, what does that tie into other information you found in other places?
wow.
Right. That's pretty spot on, ain't it?
Pretty damn spot on, is it not? For
Where the heck did the egg come from?
Well, I'm pretty good with an egg since I got ducks, but yeah, it had to be the chicken and the egg came at the same time.
Yeah, that's pretty much what that was the one turning into two and then the two turning into three, right?
Right, because you can't have the egg, you know, the humidity, all that, the turning, you got to turn the egg every hour or whatever, 4 hours, you know what I mean? Then it's so many days, and then the humidity got to be just right. So you had to have chicken first, but you couldn't have the production without the egg at the same time, you know, her carrying a fermented egg, you know, she was pregnant with an egg.
Where did the shell come from?
Well, even without a rooster, you get eggs. I got female ducks and no male ducks.
He didn't make like a literal egg, dude.
I know.
It's just a energy vortex, or if you think about like if we got electromagnetism and the magnetism lines that form creation, you think MasterCard symbol, well, that egg would be that centerpiece. Think of it like that.
Right.
That's what the symbolism of that MasterCard thing is.
It's about everything though, with that.
But it just ties in because I've heard other stuff before, like black hole and the white hole and all this other stuff, and I was just like, whoa, they kind of.
Somebody said about the Earth being shaped like an egg, or like an eye, more like an eye. But I've always said it's shaped like a rolling pin. If you go to the beach level, they're rolling away from you, and it's kind of like a rolling pin because they give us tell us a circle, tell us to be in a corner.
Trying to figure out how to use this whiteboard.
Somebody actually did an image once of the planet Earth and what it would look like as like an eyeball with our eyeball lens being like the dome and our retinas being the continents and something like that. It was pretty neat little image.
The Ark of the Covenant has two birds on each end, and that's two birds each, 4 different winds, and the ISIS in the middle, that toy they buy where the wings, as you spin it, it goes up, it creates the other wind, the little motor runs by itself. Everybody looking in the box, dude, that pick what the symbols on the outside.
What is that?
Excuse me. Have you ever seen this is supposedly an image.
Mercy. How do I? Ooh. How did you do that, Eric?
Of the all. Hang on.
What did I do?
Like I told Steve.
There's a picture on your.
The power symbol.
I need to do that when I come out.
You see it with a straight line coming out, or does it look like a pole standing up straight, like a dartboard?
Wow.
Ways you look at different symbols. It's like a paint picture.
The icon you can do after you're outside of a meeting, you just go through your Zoom profile.
You guys see that?
Yeah.
What are you seeing on the screen? Are you guys
an eye with the universe?
Gotcha. Awesome.
So this is supposedly the entire view of it all.
Somebody, yeah.
Who thought up that one?
Of it all.
That looks like
the entire known universe, all in one image.
Got it.
Right, the WSO. The only thing I don't see is the energy coming up out, that keeps the wheel turning. Like that graph from NASA. It shows the lines and I think that's actually the heartbeat. We made it that like in the likeness.
I think there's a process that you have to go through to even fathom what that photo right there looks or is going to tell you because it's just you look at that and it's like what the hell you understand what I mean by that?
It's the first time I've ever seen. Oh, sorry.
Just imagine every one of those.
But I think that when I look into my children's eyes, it's like I'm looking into like everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but wow, that's very amazing. But I've never seen this before. I'm kind of in awe right now.
Yeah.
The other thing that's interesting.
Go ahead, Eric. What were you going to, or Nomad? What were you going to say?
Wow.
A lot of times when you see images, it looks like a bunch of brain synapses. Like electrical currents, electrical lines, or conduits, or something like that.
Yeah.
Your body have to work the same way. I've cleaned a lot of deer, and all the tendons, the way they come up and down, the way they can fire that on one person and put the thing on the other person's arm.
Yes, it's like the images you see in what you call it in Greenland or whatever, where the fjords and the lines are in how rivers branch off, how you can see like their veins. You know, is that what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's a repeating pattern in creation. Yes.
You ever felt like Earth was like a huge cell kind of membrane, and we are what goes around the cell, kind of?
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, dude.
Yeah.
That's what Phil tries to get us to understand, is that we are, in essence, that's exactly what it is. I mean, you got to conceptualize the infinite within the finite in all aspects, the center of all things.
What if the cells within our body have like their own internet and world and conspiracy theories? And
that's exactly what I think it is, dude.
We do.
I think you're right. I think you're right on the money right there, dude.
We do.
Well, didn't Rex say they can store like a lot of information in this, the flesh?
The entire Library of Congress on 1 gram of DNA.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the whole thing, that our Akashic record is stored in the light. That's it goes right back to the light, because the light is the storage facility or hard drive or whatever. But I think it's more than that in essence of it's the creator. It's everything, I can't even really today, for some reason, I cannot think. I don't know why, because I'm probably tired because I was up all night working. I slept 3 hours, so. But I mean, I think the fact that the light is the energy is the purveyor of all information. I came to those conclusions long ago on my own, just like you stated, Nomad. And when you just think about it, it makes complete sense, because plants eat light, right? Why wouldn't we?
Yes, and I had this theory. What if there was a time when all of our energy was only taken from the light, where we did not eat?
I could see that. I could see that very possible.
Yeah.
However, if you really think about it, what you really are doing is eating the light.
Yep. I was just going to say the same thing.
Well, they say we are what we eat.
I literally have, like, when I tried doing the sun stuff, maybe like 2 years ago, I started getting into sun gazing in the morning and stuff, and then change of environment and blah, blah, blah. Start doing it. But I was like, between that and taking the supplemental monatomic elements, I really didn't eat. I would go literally 2, 3, 4 days without eating and not even be at all hungry. And my wife would be like, dude, you got to eat. I'm like, I'm fine, man, really. But yeah, give me a cracker or something.
Because when I started to do that, my appetite dropped down to nothing.
What, sun gazing?
Yeah.
I really didn't notice it, even though it was happening until afterwards. And then my wife's like, oh man, after I stopped the sun gazing, she's like, oh good, I'm glad to see you got your appetite back, you're finally eating a couple times. I'm like, I don't know, just phases.
Has anybody else done that?
I haven't been sun gazing because I can't see the sun anymore, because they block it in the morning and in the evening every day.
Perfect chair. In the morning I see the copper penny, and then in the evening I see the copper penny.
Interesting. Pennies on the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So do you guys see the sun in the morning and in the evening where you live?
No.
Yeah, I think that's directly attributable to why they're chemtrailing.
Yeah,
I think that's the reason.
Not this time of the year, at least. I mean, it used to be. Even here where I live, I just lived on the other side of town, but we had some days. Now it's just always cloudy as shit and windy. The wind today, like my garage door literally got buckled in because of the wind.
Oh no.
It was easily fixed, but still.
So when you did that and your appetite dropped, what else happened? Like the very first time, and I don't know if it matters on how long you did or didn't, but what happened? Anything else?
I mean, I really don't know. I mean, other things like close your eyes and see different like
Patterns.
and stuff like that. Especially when if you look at the light and it's like almost like
It pulsates and it shows rings and rings and rings and rings.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
and then
yes.
but the color will actually like change, like red to blue to purplish, and yeah, it's like. But you look up and you stop because the color changes. And you open your eyes and look, and there's like no clouds that would cause it. Maybe I don't know what would cause the sunlight to,
Excuse me.
if you think you close your eyes and your eyes are closed, it's going to stay one color. If it's the sun is the same and nothing's coming in between, clouds or things of that nature, shadows, but I would see it change. But I don't really know what else. I really don't think of it like when it comes up, like when people mention something, like when you just mentioned that about the not being hungry, that it popped up in my head like that, but I didn't really think about that beforehand.
Yeah.
So why did they say don't look at it?
Because it would burn your eyes.
But why did they really say don't look at it?
Yeah, because it's the conduit to our soul, because that's what it's called.
Well,
That's the oversoul.
Good for bad and bad for good a long time ago when they started calling wizards bad people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just watching a CERN video about their unveiling of the Goddard Tunnel. That whole.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where it's creepy, but I mean the occult symbology in it is in line pretty much with a lot of the stuff we're talking about.
Yep,
right.
Tells the story. And I think literally that they're singing the Lord's Prayer in reverse or in Latin. In Latin.
So it's a literal battle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you throw all of the fear aside and the satanic part of it and the devil and what we've labeled it as,
right?
If you throw all of that aside and you just empty your mind of all of that nonsense and all that dogma,
yep.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that it is all about every story, everything they're talking about, every Cain and Abel, every Enki Enlil, every creation, Absu, Tiamat, every parting of the waters, every one of them, the Red Sea parting. I mean, every one of these allegories, every one of them is the same story,
Yeah, but it told them how to unlock the box when they realized snakes represented the electricity and the copper lines meant this, and he walked that way, and he said his.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all confused. It's all diatribe just to convey a message without you even knowing it's conveyed. But in the same essence, it's there, so you have to work to find the truth.
Yep.
Yes.
That's why it's hard for people now, because they turned good for bad a long time ago. Now they're getting the truth, and they just no, that's not right.
It's because people align themselves with labels and beliefs.
Yeah.
Right.
Like right here. I mean, this picture I'm going to share here is just. I gotta share my screen here.
So will it pop what I put on there off, I guess?
Yeah.
So that one guy used white colors because some Bibles say the sun panteth, like it's been on a long journey.
Yes.
It does pulse. Maybe when your eyelids, you're picking up.
We all do.
Now you see this image here.
That's what happens if you look at the sun with your eyelashes closed just a smidge.
Yeah.
But I mean, who would have thought that this, this is the light? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why the cross. That's why there's the cross. That's why the cross is everywhere in our existence, is because of this. I mean, from the sword and the stone analogy, the Star of Bethlehem. I mean,
I've had that over my house.
Aw.
Yeah, that Christmas or whatever, Venus was real bright or whatever. Yeah.
Sun halo behind Buddha, Christ.
the swastika, all of it. Yeah.
I think I've heard it referred to as the Northern Star as well.
Right.
Maybe I'm
what
wrong.
was it?
Maybe I'm wrong. I'm learning.
What, the Northern Star? The Polaris?
Where'd you put the link, Steve? I don't see it in the YouTube video anywhere.
Link for what?
Somebody was asking how to get in.
It's in the chat, in the hard chat, in the comment section below it.
You some water?
You got to exit out of live chat.
Are you thirsty? Want some water?
And you got to go down to the comment section.
All right. Need some water. Hold on. Find a cup.
Right? Oh, okay. Now, what was I? I was gonna read this, guys. Now, this is tablet 10 of the Emerald Tablets. I'm gonna read a couple excerpts out of it.
Again. Here. Since I have to knock the glass out of my hand.
Angel.
Yes.
Sweetheart.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, could you mute unless you're talking? Do you know where the mute button is on your phone?
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
I'm learning.
No, it's because your audio is just dominating everybody else's. I don't know why.
Oh,
but
here. Is that better?
That's okay.
No, it's not better. It's the wrong button. Would it be audio?
Yes. There you go. Awesome. All right. Now, everybody else here, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is tablet 10 now. This is the key of time. And it's the same exact story. And I mean, I recognized this long ago, but I didn't put it into context in the manner I have recently. And if anybody notices the number on the participants rise, Eric, could you go ahead and help them out and get them in here if, whoever's looking for the link, if they want to come in. But
Zadai.
All right. So list, oh man, take of my wisdom. Learn of the deep hidden mysteries of space. Learn of the thought that grew in the abyss, bringing order and harmony in space. Now that right there, that is exactly the same thing we just looked at in that golden luminous thing, that video that you shared, in essence, because it's the thought that grew. And then know ye, O man, that all that exists has being only because of the law. Know ye the law, and ye shall be free, never be bound by the fetters of night. Far through strange spaces have I journeyed, into the depth of the abyss of time, learning strange and yet stranger mysteries, until in the end all was revealed. Know ye that mystery is only mystery when it is knowledge unknown to man. When ye have plumbed the heart of all mystery, knowledge and wisdom will surely be thine. Now, that right there says that if you find the center of all things, because you plumb the heart of all mystery, that means you find the center of all things. And that just harkens back to what we were just saying, what you guys were just saying about, do our cells all have internet, their own little universe inside? You understand what I mean?
The center of all things would be your heart.
Yes, but I mean the center of all things is our heart, its heart, the heart. You know what I mean? It's everything.
Like that picture you show where the picture goes on forever.
Yes, when you're viewing your own
timelines.
Yes, when you're viewing your own recording. Yes, exactly. And I believe that this creator that we are all part of speaks through all of us, including our technology. You know what I mean?
So imagine this. If it's an infinite window like that, that means you could theoretically erase your mistakes.
Yes, and that's maybe what CERN's trying to do. But you very
I think
well
they
could.
got other things going on with CERN and then trying to.
No, I don't know. There's no coincidence. Oh, that's what I was going to do. That's what I was in my drive. Thank you, Eric. I mean, I'm such a freaking space case. I got to go here. All right. I got to back this thing up here.
I think a lot of what these stories and allegories all relate to is explaining how the cosmos works and the universe really works.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what it's all. That's like, but a lot of people want to make it sound like it just all leads to spiritual. Yeah, but it's not like, I don't know.
Well, that's why.
I don't know how to explain my thought.
No, you're exactly right. It's the owner's manual for the car. You know?
Yeah, and this is a school that makes sure you're going to be a good driver and not an asshole on the road that's going to be a shit back.
Well, I don't know about
planet.
that. I think we are just more or less nerve endings for the ineffable. We are nerve endings. We are thought forms. We are collectors of data. We are.
If we were just thought forms and collectors of data, then what would be the purpose of coming here to learn the truth?
This is literally center stage.
Yes, exactly. Yes, we're both. Everything we just said, all in one.
Right? You ever look at Rush? I'm a big Rush fan. Obviously, I send it to Steve almost every day. But one of their album covers was "Exit Stage Left."
Yeah, I remember that one you sent me.
Yeah, Snagglepuss. Yeah. Who was it that did that in the cartoons? Exit Stage Left.
Well, then I always say there's nothing right about me. I'm all that's left.
Yeah. No fuck up too great, right?
Right. I mean, it's through our mistakes and our fails that we learn the most, right?
Exactly.
Okay, now here, do you guys see this?
In this configuration, yes.
Do you see my screen? Okay, Now this is the 7 Hermetic principles, or the 7 kingdoms of God, or the 7, houses of the Lord. Now this is the monad version of it. You gotta have clay to make bricks, which clay is the and then you gotta make the correlation of the start and the end, which is the
mud flood.
What?
You said clay to make bricks, and I just thought mud flood.
But clay to us, see, pyramids are diamonds in the field of clay. That's the pyramids on Earth. We are diamonds in a sea of clay. Meaning,
if the pyramid's a diamond in the sea of clay, and how come there's a diamond at the top?
What?
You just said pyramids are the diamond in the sea of clay, but
in a field of clay. Yeah.
Pyramid is at the bottom, and there's a diamond at the top.
Okay, now you ever seen that image of the in Paris of that museum where there's a pyramid, a triangle right here, and then this thing comes down and it just about touches. Right there.
The Louvre?
Yeah, the Louvre. That is the divine union. That is the symbol of the divine union. Because this upside down pyramid right here is the all, God. This and us all in the same. It's the upside down triangle that goes together with the upright one and the Star of David.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yes.
Nasser Hassim.
Huh?
Nasser Hassim, 0 point.
Nasser Hassim.
Nasser Hassim, he does the tetrahedron.
You're Nassim Harriman.
Oh yeah, wrong way. Sorry.
Yeah, isotropic vector matrix. Yes, he was a big part of my understanding, and yes, he's recently showed me that how the fractalized he's explained another way to envision the squaring of the circle. what we were just talking about, the cell within the cell within, do our cells have their own little universes inside? Now, if you want to get down to the brass tacks of it, or the basic layman way of looking at it, at the end of the Men in Black movie, where the aliens playing with the marble, and through the whole movie that they're looking for Orion's belt, for the galaxy, otherwise they're going to blow Earth up. Right. And it's on the cat's keychain or collar.
Yep.
Yes. Yep. Now that's exactly the same thing. A Russian doll analogy. A fractal and a fractal and a fractal. But I mean, it's more complex than that, obviously. Now, the things that we understand, it's the holographic principle, the magnet, and I think Jerry brought this to my attention too. Water's that way. You could bust water up into even steam, and it still ends up coming back as a droplet or the same as it, But I think the information is maybe that's the information trend. I don't know exactly, but I think that's something we don't need to know. But I mean, this right here, this monad is the. I wonder if I got that right here. Yeah, this is the. No, not this one. Right here. This is the 7 hermetic principles as they're named in the what is it called? The Kabbalion, I think.
Yeah.
Now, this is right here. This span right here is right what we create to keep it going. This is the chicken. This is the egg, I think. And I'm saying that in a pun way because it's mentalism. But right here, and that golden thing, that video you shared, Eric.
Yeah.
Right here is where it starts separating, where the doubling starts happening. And I think that's what the 72, the 144, and them numbers, the doubling numbers come into play in all of the, because if you look at all of these stories and all these creation myths and whatever, I mean, anything to do with, even scientists have pointed out the fact that, these numbers are just, they're rife through I mean, they just keep popping up over and over and over. And I think that's what happens is we keep doubling, as we get at that creation until there's too much. And then, I don't know if it's too much, but I mean, then it's time to start a new aeon. You know what I mean? You see now this right here, correspondence is.
Well, that's what the cycles are too. And that's like.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what we kind of. You mentioned that earlier about the chemtrails and something, and I was gonna say that, but it's kind of funny how you come right back to that. So, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
Finish your thought there, because I think it's a good one.
I was when you mentioned something about, you said something about why are they doing it, and that's exactly why. Is because they're trying to control and prevent. Like the end goal is, is
they're trying to circumvent the cycle. Is what
they circumvent the human. Our souls from ascending, so to say. Then they kept us from reaching God or whatnot, and then this cycle only happens every so often. So say it's 26,000 years.
I think it's more like 5,125 years to be exact.
Steve.
Yeah, I mean, but in general, so that whole cycle, if we don't make it now, this time frame that's ending shortly, there's no doing the reincarnation cycle until that next one comes up, I guess. But I don't know how that's true.
So if it takes 2 pyramids, what would the other ones be underneath? You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Masculine and feminine.
Way.
Huh?
Yeah, as above, so below, left, right, whichever way you want to turn it.
This one of the Star of David, the downward V that he's shown here, would be the masculine. The one going up would be the divine feminine.
But it's somehow
at its base value, it's polarity in essence.
Right.
What kind of feminine speak?
They got work. They got work in harmony. They
you can speak
together.
You can say something. Chime in.
Well, what I'm trying to figure out is, because the way I'm seeing this right now is, well, I'm seeing all of it, but I'm focused, zeroed in on where it says mentalism. Okay, cause and effect. Okay, rhythm. Okay, I got all that. But when it comes to mentalism, then why is there such a large gap and a large arrow pointing to correspondence, and then leading background to vibration, background to polarity, background to rhythm? There is an important sequence of events going on here that a lot of people, well, I've been in a rat race. I was a single mom. I didn't have time for it. They kept me very busy. But all the while, I knew something larger than life was going on, and I played a significant, insignificant role, but it's very significant in the mentalism. So we have to go back up to, okay, gender isn't so important. Cause and effect, well, that's inevitable. But the mentalism and the correspondence, I mean, there's an action there, a large space in between.
That's creation itself.
Well,
That's
the
what
two got to become one.
Creation
You become
itself,
one.
okay.
Creation itself. This is the allspark, the prima mobile, or the prima materia, you know, or the thing in which the cosmos is, you know, everything is.
Yeah.
This is the light right here.
Exactly. Okay,
And
got
that's
it.
what's created in our self-aware state of our consciousness. That's why, okay, now let me explain these how I see them. I may be off here, but I think this is, you have to correspond everything to its value, or, you know, like the Hebrew alphabet, where if the letters fold over on themselves, you know, when you put them in a toroid,
Yes.
and they line up into certain groups.
Yes.
And that's what the dualism is, the polarity, you know. Okay, so correspondence is, okay, so this is the all-pervading thought. Correspondence is what creates the vibration. You know, this correspondence is the space in itself, you know, the emptiness or the blackness, the dark, I think. The vibration causes the chaos.
Wow.
And then after chaos, then polarity starts. It's the law. You know, polarity is the law. It makes things run in order, in a smooth rhythmic motion. See, rhythm. And then after that, then cause and effect can create the terra, or the plants, the rocks, the physical stuff. You know what I mean? The plane of inertia, in which, and this is how I've come to this. I never knew that all of the stuff I was talking about the black hole, because I started doing thought exercises in my head about what a black hole is. Are we inside a black hole in the Milky Way? And why is it an asteroid belt? Why is it a Kuiper belt? Why is it? And if we were going to be interstellar beings, why would those belts be an obstacle to us when we could travel beyond? Why couldn't we just go around them? You know?
What are you talking about? We went to the moon 5, 6, 7 times, and now, like 3 years ago, we don't have the technology.
I'm talking interstellar, is what I'm talking.
Yes.
And I'm talking on a conceptual level.
I'm just saying, though, if we,
I think they're already traveling interstellar.
Right, I agree with that too.
Yeah, they're denying it too hard.
That's because we are in the future and in the past and here all at the same time.
Yes.
You ever hear that song by The Fix, Saved by Zero?
Yes.
You and Jerry, man, you guys could have some sweet conversations, because that's how Jerry talks. Just like you are right there. He talks through music.
Well, I think a lot of information is there if you can pull it out. Right.
And what is your opinion on that? You think it's like, everybody wants to think that these movies are predictive programming. I don't think that's so. I think from artists from ancient days to rap artists, Eminem, even, you know, all of these singers, I think it's just creation working through, using us to create what it wants to have.
I don't think they were allowed to teach to us they were allowed to show us without using words and sing it to us through songs, but really couldn't teach it. It's something like you said, you had to find yourself. You had to do the work.
I think that lately I've been having this theory. It's like a game, and there's a good side, a bad side, and there's a side that can switch back and forth.
Right.
The MasterCard.
Oh, that's the qubit. That's a qubit in the quantum computer.
We only have one wing on the star here, so
We're the ones that can go back and forth.
Yes,
Mm.
and you know, there's no coincidence that the ancient measurement for everything was a qubit, and
Mhm.
the quantum computer uses a qubit.
Ew.
Now you mentioned something earlier about
That's
finding.
right there in itself in that measurement giving. Okay, go ahead, Eric.
No, go for it. Go.
No, that qubit thing in itself explains a whole hell of a lot if you really wrap your mind around it, because it shows you that the qubit can be several things in essence, and it's the mentalism and correspondence coming together. It's the all-spark right there, you know, because
You ever see the Transformers movie that shows the Allspark?
Yeah,
And
that
then
was it.
it has this
I
scene,
love
and it
Transformers.
says we have to keep them locked in, and then they open a door, and on the front of that door it says H8.
no way, really?
Yes, it does.
You know what 8 is, right?
Yes.
Well, it's keep them locked in hate.
No, it's more than that. What is hate? Hades,
I don't know.
Pluto.
Ah,
I was thinking helium level 8 or something, maybe.
That
H8.
too. But
So
that's
it can
what I
be
mean. How
multiple
creation
meanings.
is in different levels. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
All working in unison, all at the same time, all in one moment, existent. Like,
All at
like
once.
right here. Like you go. I'll go back to the picture before this.
It's awesome how they're called Transformers and me.
So what? We win and lose all at the same time?
Yes, I mean
Mhm.
that's
Yes.
what creation is the nothingness and the all at the same time.
So it's like a switch.
No.
It's like a wheel within a wheel, like Ezekiel's wheel, you know, from the ancient description of it. Or
Right.
it's like if you were to map our planetary movement in the stars, it would just create one big circle. You know, you'd see circle upon circle upon circle upon circle. And then if you look at it from a different angle of view, you start seeing geometric patterns and sacred geometry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why the Freemasons are so into geometry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, geometry is the platonic solids and the what's the other one? The
The
circle.
building blocks of everything.
Yes,
Us,
that's-
the whole universe is all sacred geometry.
Have you ever heard of people? I watch a lot of DMT trips, and
I still want to do that.
and
I've done
a
it.
lot of times they'll say that they experience a high pitched buzzing vibration, and then their body disappears.
See, that's the thing. The vibration is what kind of captured my attention was after the big arrow and then it vibration. So we play a significant role in that.
So, what do you think?
Look at this picture right here. It breaks it down so we can understand it, Ani.
Oh, okay.
What do you think of that, Steve?
What?
The vibration, and then people experience their body just disappearing.
Oh, yes.
Well, that goes right to quantized energy. You know, I mean, let there be light, and then it's light essentially. You know what I mean? Vibration.
Yes. I have to agree with that.
That's exactly what it is, and that's why the 7 solfeggio scale, the 7 light spectrum, the 7 colors, the 7. You know what I mean?
The rainbow.
7 days. 7 days of the week. You know what I mean?
Right.
It all is interrelated, interconnected, because it is what our existence is, and that's
Jackpot.
the
777.
principles, the 7 chakras, right? Everything. And once you start wrapping your mind around that, then that's what creates, because from the animals comes us humans, which are mentalism. You know, the self-aware animal. which that's what we.
Excuse
and
me.
then, you know, signs in the heaven, the psyche. You know, that's what we are, so we can fathom what we are. You know, and I believe that the signs in the heaven, the psyche, is actually like that article that came out from JPL about how the cosmos looks like a big brain.
So we're like a shattered mirror, and everything. Every one of us is a piece
I want
of
to know what it is. The two pyramids apart right now, and that's the symbol of Israel. You know, or we're trying to pull them two together, because if we had the other, you know, the other pyramid the other way, the opposite, I think that's where it completes the box.
That's exactly where the whole Jesus making the two one again comes in.
Yeah, but still they're symbols of the pyramid verse, you know, and their star David. You know, they're trying to we're either apart, or we're trying to push them two pyramids apart, the two becoming one. And I don't think the stars really together yet.
Well, no, it's not, because if it was, we wouldn't be talking about it and trying to figure it out.
Right.
Like
so we
Bill,
need
Bill just sits there nice and silently, doesn't even care, just wants to explain it. You know.
Well, no, we need the other pyramids so we can see how they work in unison together.
We are the other pyramid.
Exactly. Where is
we are the other
pyramid. Where's the symbols for the other one?
That's God, dude. That's ineffable.
Oh.
It's your higher self.
No, I've seen something the other day that had the kind of what he's looking for, the two pyramids together, explaining the how the one was the divine feminine and what it represented, and one the divine masculine and what it represented, and
balance.
If you
balance,
think about
where it becomes the Star of David. Right now,
that's what our goal is.
That's what we're doing.
We have
right
those
now.
inside of us, and we have to be
right.
Oh, I agree.
Balance between both of those. Like we're been brought up to be, you know, men are men. I don't wash dishes. I go play football, and you know, women are, you know, whatever the stereotypes that keep us locked into you know, the masculine side of things, and then the females, and now they're trying to switch it up with just transgender bullshit, and they're trying to make guys girls and
over the
girls.
Well, I know all that. I mean, I already know that.
You gotta quit saying they.
Well, they are in charge.
They are us, man.
They the ones in charge.
They're not us. They're not us.
They are. It's the same bird. It's what we're fighting over, that they are us, but they are the elect.
They're not elect. They just think they are. We are the elect.
God put them. God put them people in charge.
Sorry.
Get nowhere if you guys don't understand it. We are all one, no matter what.
The peacock and all that stuff. They want you to find it. If they wanted to find it, they'd stop this stuff. They wouldn't have the symbols and the songs they gave to us and the stories.
Well, they have to give it to us, because if they don't give it to us, that's why they give it to us in the ways they do, cartoons and the ways of like movies like Transformers.
The way they're allowed to.
Yeah,
but it is a game.
So, you know, that's a game because if they didn't give us that information and make it available for us to find in some form or fashion, then
exactly, and we're all finding it's all coming down there. All these people are waking up and seeing and finding the truth. I mean, this was planned from a long time ago. There was a great plan here.
Well, because there's one thing. It's us. I mean, you guys aren't wrapping your minds around it.
Yeah, I agree, Steve. It is us.
Then why are you saying they?
Well, they are over us. They are elect over us. God put these people in control.
But if your goal is to marry the two, why are you saying there's a they? That's my point. If you're trying to marry the two and understand that all exists under one umbrella, why are you saying there's another umbrella?
Well, I ain't saying there is.
Because
every time you say they, you are.
They are the elect. The Bible says if those days were not shortened for the elect's sake. I mean, they're building this platform and give us all these tools to find the truth.
But it's us that built the platform. It's us.
The Bible says he's talking in parables because the Bible speaks to those who are on the higher plane and those who are on the lower plane, and it's kind of the vibration, the energy.
Right.
They're using their power to do whatever they think they're doing, and it's supposed to be for all the good, but it's up to
Well,
us.
God does it all for good.
Eric, do you have
That's why
access
you
to etymology
pray
right now?
not into temptation.
Look up
But-
the word they.
Right? Yeah.
Break down the word they and see what it says.
Oh,
Etymology.
I'm scared to do that right
They
now.
are the Anunnaki reptilian. No, well, say what I can.
Yeah.
But the Anunnaki guys are us, the first us.
They
That's what
They
the
are
word
us.
means.
but they don't want
Anunnaki means the first us.
Like Chris Cornell, you know what I mean? He
Yeah.
was gifted to know these songs and give them to sing to us so we could one day hear these songs and realize what the hell they were singing about. This was
Okay.
They
all
sang in
laid out a
parables.
long time ago.
They.
Back,
A
you know.
pronoun.
But my point is that if we're all one, and I believe we are all one, and
Yeah.
I've been trying to get the word they out of my mind for the longest, and I think that's a big hurdle we need to get over, because there is no they in us.
Mhm.
You know, it's like no I in team. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I
That's-
don't know, dude. I see it.
There is no they in us, dude. It's us.
Well, I agree there. I agree.
There's no such thing as this and that. There's only this and this.
Yeah, but the two ain't one yet. The heathen.
No,
and
and
Gentiles.
until we get over the fact that there's a they,
But they're
it
not-
never will be. That is my point.
But there
They're
is
not-
hay in they.
But you're supposed to pray for your leaders and thank God they are doing what they're doing.
We
So
are
we
our
could-
own leaders.
Yeah.
though.
Long time ago. Thank God for them stories they told us.
You ever thought about this?
Right.
Imagine this. Imagine bouncing your thoughts off of a satellite dish in space, and what you bounce into that satellite dish bounces back, and that's what happens.
That's exactly what I think the feedback loop is. But I mean, it's the same thing. It's looking into the mirror.
Yeah, it bounces back.
know what I mean?
ACDC, if you want blood, you got it.
Right.
Well,
exactly.
if you turn all these
If you
people
want
loose,
peace, you got it.
they watch cops. People are crazy. They're hard to
If
please.
you want love, you got it.
But I mean,
Yeah.
it's essentially what you're saying there. But it's more convoluted than that, because creation is a matrix of things that are all intertwined together in a manner that it can't be an instant feedback loop. It can be a feedback loop in a collective sense if we could all get on the same page. But
Well, exactly, and that goes back to the
that can never happen because people have the fact in their head that there's them and us.
That's-
Pink
I
Floyd,
understand that.
us and them.
Oh God. Yeah.
well, this is how we get it solved.
What-
You know what I mean, we're exactly different points of views.
Aren't there somebody manipulating the system?
Well, I think that's the problem. All the energy runs through that North Pole, just like it shows on the field where it keeps running through, and it's all plasma. And they've learned how to take that computers and all that and program the plasma. You know what I mean? Where and our thoughts and everything run through that. So the Earth reacts to what we do, and we're such in chaos. The Earth's in chaos.
Yeah.
But that's why you have to do the thought exercise in your head, like
It's a living planet.
about polar opposites.
What'd
And
she say?
what'd you say, Angel?
Because Earth is a living planet and it feeds off of us, our vibration, and we have to be a
Exactly.
vibration.
And we're in such chaos and life in the fast lane that the Earth Mother's mad at us, and
Right. But I mean,
Well, think about it. They separated you from the earth almost.
Earth
Mm.
is us too, though. I mean, we are part of
Yeah.
Earth.
but I
Everything
was
we
given a gift of breath to spend here with my family through emotions.
Right.
But we're
right.
a spirit
Funny
being
how-
in the Earth too.
Listen to this. Electromagnetic oceans.
Hmm?
You ever thought of that?
Well, that's the what
Yes, I
Audrey was
have.
saying about the Iron Man, the great magnetic field,
Yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
how the whole
Magneto.
energy keeps running back through the same donut hole.
I love Iron Man.
But when I was a kid and I had the chance to put a tattoo on my arm, I put this cross on my arm. I didn't know why I was doing it. But
Aw.
I put this cross through a heart with the word love across it.
You know what that is?
No.
The pineal light.
It's a symbol of a photon.
Yeah, the pineal light.
Well, that's what I think of like before you pass out. You start seeing them little spotty lights. Them little speckles.
Right. Or you take too big of a hit of weed. Yeah.
It's an 8-pointed
That's
star.
a good idea.
It's an 8-pointed star. It's the same view you get if you look down on a pyramid. People think it's 4, but it's really 8.
Yeah, because it's got the edge in the middle of each triangle, right? That sticks out.
Like an indentation or something. Yeah.
What's it called? An icosahedron or icosahedron? Or dodecahedron? I don't know. But you know how many of these are here present on this thing?
No.
32.
Interesting.
I like that symbol, that shield.
And then guess where the 33rd one is? The whole, guys. All of us. And you know why you know how I figured that one out? Because my daughter, I was doing the polar opposite exercise with my 10-year-old daughter, and she looked up at the clock and she said, Dad, 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night, those are opposites, right? And the whole is one. And I went, holy shit, kid.
Got her wheels turning.
Because that is the arch of the hero's journey. You know what I mean? That's what everything is, guys. Is the 3? That's where the 3 comes in. You know,
like count 29, but
born, live, die. Born, live, die. Born, live, die.
Yeah, until that 26,000-year cycle comes about, you get the fuck out.
Well, no, I think everybody has the chance. You can only go to heaven when you're alive, and everybody has the opportunity to. And that's why in ancient days, it's everywhere in the hieroglyphs. It's everywhere in the world. I mean, there's pyramids everywhere for that reason.
I don't know. This sounds like a perfect system to keep people coming back here.
Well. None of that matters.
We know the way out.
None of that matters though, because I think as the doubling effect happens, it gets more convoluted and more mixed up and more confusing and harder to get out. And I think that's what the 10 rings of Atlantis means. You know what I mean? When you start out near the center, it's the golden age. Or it's easier to figure out because you're near the galactic center, and that may be why we're closer to the galactic center now. You know, from the edge of because I believe that when I was in '84, when I was in elementary school, junior high, I remember learning that we were in the Sagittarius arm on the outer edge of the galaxy.
Way out on it. Yep.
Yes.
Well,
50,000 light years from the center. Now,
yeah, supposedly,
it's no coincidence either that we're 26,000 light years closer to the center, and now we're located at 24,000 light years from the center.
Yeah, but in the same token, okay, let's say, I don't know how fast or whatever we move, but a lot of people's argument for that is like we were in the Sagittarius arm over here, right? I understand the different name of the Orion arm, but without take the different name out of the equation, if the whole everything they show us about that they've shown us about how galaxies are spinning, right? If we were at 50,000 miles away in the Sagittarius arm at one point, and we were spinning in a counterclockwise or clockwise rotation, then after a certain period of time, we might be where they're saying that the Orion side of things, because it looked like to me when I was looking at that, like say the Sagittarius arm was the bottom southeast corner if you were looking at it from a top-down view on a 2D image, and then where we are on the Orion arm was the northwest corner of the image, closer to the center. Where as a Sagittarius we were further out towards the bottom of the paper, the edge of the image. I don't know if that's making a good enough picture, but imagine that rotating around. Now, to change the names, who knows, whatever. But
it takes 260 million years to go around once when you're in the middle, or when you're at where we're at right now. So when we were on the outer edge,
where does that number come from?
I don't know. That's where it's at. That's where it's
Exactly.
at.
Exactly. They don't know either. They just pulled it out their ass.
Right. I mean, none of that really matters.
And we take it as fact because they pulled it out their ass and they got white coats and someone gave them, and then they went into debt slavery system for.
But I think every time somebody pulls the word "they" out of their mouth, they're transferring their own account of things onto somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the word "they" means.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's my point.
Oh, I looked it up and it says something about it has no meaning because it's been overrun by the transgender movement and has. Never mind.
Now, what does that mean? What does transgender mean? What does transgender mean to you guys? Hermaphrodite, right?
Brain control.
Married, one.
Yep.
Hallelujah.
Well, if there was a merging of it, yes, but the way they're trying to do transgender is they're trying to do a polar swap of it.
Pick apart your last sentence right there, Eric. How many times did you say they and there?
I don't know. I probably say it a lot, man.
But do you guys get what I'm saying here?
They made you say it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean, though? I mean, it's that at its basic form is exactly what we need to get over. Because once you say they, that means they're different from you.
Well, they in charge, I guess.
Well, they are different.
They're in charge. So.
According to David Icke, the reptilians, so aren't they different?
Right, exactly. But I mean, it doesn't matter how you get to the same, like we said yesterday, all roads lead to the same destination, right?
Yep.
Tartaria, not wrong.
And that's part of the doubling effect, I think, and that's just conjecture on my part. And, I am a firm believer that until we get rid of the lines that are drawn in the sand in our minds, not literally, because that'll never happen, I don't think.
You gotta, it kind of came to my head here, but you gotta kind of watch that Martin Kenny guy and his model of the
Flat Earth.
Yeah, sort of flat Earth and whatnot, but it kind of coincides with what you said with the 10 Rings of Atlantis, where his model, I don't think it's quite exactly right, but he's more on track than other just flat Earth models but whatever is that.
Well, that represent
Atlantis started off in the center, the closest ring to the center of whatever the
Olympics
that we're on.
It is it is in essence the prima materia, the what's it called, the pleroma.
Huh?
The pleroma. The pleroma is
Listen, man, I'm from Chicago. Get off them big words.
What part of Chicago?
Logan's north side. About to say Logan Square, north side.
North side.
Hey man, I grew up in the ghetto, and I've only read one book in my life.
They're all different colors too.
I mean, there's no coincidence that everything is just the numbers, 5 even. Okay, so we were located 50,000 light years from the edge of from the center of the galaxy, in my memory anyway. And
mine too, way out there.
Yeah, way out there. And there was no interference from anything. That's what they said to make our minds rest at ease, that we're in the safest part of the galaxy. We don't have to worry about all
what happened.
And then what happens is the cycle happens. The wheel within the wheel takes over, and shit starts doubling because of all the people that are here and all of the confusion of what we really are.
Yeah.
And we are all one. In the mentalism of our understanding of the whole is what creates it.
Yes.
If you can wrap your mind around that.
If we had to understand it before it can be created, how did we get to understand something that wasn't created?
So we're all electrons in a big brain.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think all worse.
Yes.
We're electrons in a big brain.
And if you say the proton that's next to you is they, then you're separating your electron from the proton, and then it's not gonna orbit the nucleus in the correct atom formation. Right?
Wow.
Because right there in itself tells you that there's out of the three is born the one, then the one separates into two, and then the third is born. You know, and that's the creation cycle in itself.
If the proton and the neutron weren't different, wouldn't it be like a pro-newt?
Well, it's odd that you say that because Newt is actually the definition of the cosmic goddess. You know, the mother, the womb of the cosmos is Newt.
Is there anything faster than light? I mean, I've looked.
Us.
That's what I thought.
I would believe our spirits are and angels. But
Yeah.
I mean, for lack of better words.
Thought faster than light.
Thought, yeah. Okay.
Yes, because if the thought is in essence the light.
Right.
Brandy says, I don't feel we need the evil opposition that's running shit. Where I can understand where she's coming from on that. On the other aspect of it, if there was the evil opposition running the shit, there would be no progression to go in this direction.
Correct.
Just think if they ran the world. I mean, they could literally run this world right now, give everybody a set income, free, you know, everybody can have everything they want, and they would all love the government for giving them this stuff, and then they can control us all they want and manipulate us all they want. But they do the opposite. They show us the exact way of what, you know, and the exact opposite of what, you know, the true essence of God is, I guess. And then it's up to us to make the choice of where we want to go with it.
Think about this term. Their job is to knock you off track or the track.
It's what makes the work great.
According to Steve, that would be our job, is to knock ourselves off track.
Well, yeah.
A little bit of both.
Makes the work great.
Well, I'm pretty good at doing that myself. Yes.
I knew I was an asshole, but damn, this is like a whole new level.
Now think about this. If we were say everybody got a handout and we all knew everything when we were born, what the hell would be the point?
Right.
It sounds like it'd be the optimal, but you know, we led to believe, I guess, would be what we're supposed to dream towards. But then when you really think about it, how would it be? You look at these utopian societies that have tried in the past, and I know they're trying to recreate them now, but they all fail because, you know, people get like, hey, greed, not to do anything.
Yep.
Nobody wants
to do it till we're all one.
Now, this is what I've come to think is the issue here is there's people with knowledge of the knowing of what all is. And they, I hate saying they.
There he went.
Now, this is the only time I say
There's
they.
that four-letter word again.
Yes, and this aspect is the only time I say they, because them people or us in that aspect is the power hungry, greed, monetary beast within us, you know, that doesn't want to do the work to make the divine union, to make the connection with God, or to live in the right way, like the religion, like you say, Jerry.
Yeah, but till both worlds become the same. You know, your inside dreams and the outside dreams are the same.
That's exactly what we're trying to do. Did I finish my thought? Oh no, the knowing. Okay, say I've achieved. See, now this is where I think Kundalini and the divine union are separated. Because I think you go through the Kundalini experience first, you know, before you make the coupling, or before your Christmas tree is topped with the star. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that happens, and then after that is when you make the union. When you marry, the bridegroom marries the bride. You know, but I mean, I think right there at that point, people say, I got the knowledge. And I figured, okay, I'm smarter than everybody else. I know everything. I'm a god. Worship me. Now, what can I do to circumvent the cycle that's going to happen?
Hog all the knowledge.
Huh?
Hog all the knowledge.
Yeah.
Right. Or name a school that sounds like knowledge and replace it with the C. You know, so I can indoctrinate the masses in a false doctrine So those
Right.
that know, those that know there's more to life or want more than life.
Amen.
You know, I think all of this is just the creation's way of making it happen. Because if there's no friction, there's no fire, and
Right.
fire is the knowing.
There's no flame.
Yes, the flame of the cosmic is the life strain of the infinite brain, and that's plain and simple. And the hottest of the flame is the coldest, and that's the truth.
Ooh.
Well, yeah. Think about that. Ice is so cold it's hot, and so hot that it's cold.
The quantum computer operates at 0 Kelvin.
Yeah. Saved by zero.
Ooh.
Right, and I think that's somewhere right around 432 degrees below zero. You know, in Fahrenheit.
It stops the computer from overheating.
Yeah, and well, what it does is it creates a where all manifest matter or all atomic structure is just what's it called? And it's what is it called? The quantum state? Is that what it's in essence it is?
Is that at rest?
Yeah, puts it at rest. Exactly, and that's exactly what we need to do in our mind.
It's also in two places at once.
Yes, ain't that funny? It brings us right back to the qubit.
Jeez.
Is that why they build it in layers, and the bottom piece is like the head? So as it gets colder, you know, things fall.
But think about it. Noah's Ark was built via the measurement of a qubit, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly.
Now we're in an electronic digital era, or a computer era, where there's cloud servers, there's this, there's that, and we're still talking about the qubit as if it's the and when the guy unveiled the quantum computer, what did he say? He said it's like standing at the altar of an alien god.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what, when we carry these cell phones, you know, it'll tell you, oh, you're going to be at work in 20 minutes. Or even if you turn that off, I believe they still sit there and listen. It's like Sim City. That computer's sitting there building a chip about you, you know, where you go, what you look up, call, you know, so every day it knows you more and more.
Yeah, think UPS package tracking. Only
even coins have two sides, guys, and they're two sides of the same thing. There's another way of looking at it. You know, there's heaven in there. There's heaven and hell. There's Hades. There's heaven. There's earth. There's a sky. There's the ultimate monad, which is, or you know, the ultimate farce, or what am I trying to? The opposite is the sun shining its rays through the darkness.
Malcolm in the middle.
And that's what we are, Malcolm in the middle. and it's by our own doing that we've got to where we're at here today. I mean, even on our little journeys, but I mean, in the whole of things, we are to blame, not anybody else, because we are one.
Right.
We are both sides of that same coin. And it's funny that one's heads and one's tails. And what is that? That's the Ouroboros.
And then we come back to vibration.
Well, that you know, heads and tails is exactly the same analogy as where the allspark happens. The Ouroboros, where it starts eating its tail. That's the spark, the allspark.
Very good point.
You know, if you could flip a coin and it'd stand up on its edge, that's where we need to be, I guess. And you know, the fixed signs in this cosmic cross right here.
Pull it up bigger.
I'm trying. There we go. This right here is exactly where I just showed you guys where we're at in the on January 13th, 2020. This is where we're at. And this is the same as this right here. And that's weird because I was just going to pull up the Aeon, the cosmic time god, but this came up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was the image we pulled up yesterday. You had it right there in your drive.
Yeah.
Did you have that there yesterday, or did you save that after the show or something?
No, I had it. I didn't. I wasn't thinking.
Hey, no worries. It's just
I think if I'm not manipulating the my computer, then the bandwidth doesn't suffer and we don't stutter. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But this right here is the same. All of these things are the same. It's just like if you start comparing stories, like the Three Little Pigs story, the Huff and Puff, it'll blow your house down, the Three Little Bears, the Hansel and Gretel story, the Muffin Man story, all of these stories. If you start comparing them, you start picking
We're
up.
just two lost souls living in a fishbowl.
There you go. There you go. Exactly. Same thing. And we are the Anunnaki, the cosmic gardeners, in the same time existent as us, the garden. As us, think of us as the flowers that are about to blossom. You know, the pineal light, our pineal gland is going to open in the mitre hat of the Pope. You know, them hats. That's the symbol of, you know, right here. We're born fish out of water right here. This,
Right.
you know, all these images are from are simply awesome from Phil. You know, because see right here. This is us coming into the world.
Mm-hmm.
Fish out of water. Right? Now this exemplifies, these mitre hats are what our lotus flower turns into when we become aware of the system and what we are. The
Lotus flower signifies regeneration.
Yes, that's the same thing, because our pineal light, our pineal gland is in the center of the 12 cranial nerves in the top of our head, which is the exact replica of the zodiac above us.
So the pineal light is the center of all creation.
Correct. But it's the center of everything. I mean, it's the demiurge. It's what, you know,
And it is
what the creation is. You know, and people, they
I think I need to put my brain at 0 Kelvin. It's burning.
But the demiurge was like ego.
No, the demiurge is a self-aware state of no, that's a misnomer, I think, from the Gnostics. You know, where they went on the David Icke side of the information.
From the fake age.
Well, I'm not saying it was
The
fake.
fake new
I'm
age.
just saying,
No, that's why I call that new age stuff. That's like kind of like just like the fake age.
but
What
in
do
the
you think
new
of
age,
Wayne Herschel's work?
huh?
I've sent you quite a bit of Wayne Herschel's work, The
Yes.
Hidden Records. What's your
Yes.
opinion of that?
That is right on line with everything, because think about it. When the bull was worshipped, you know,
That's Taurus.
Taurus, and that's the A in the cosmos.
Yeah, left.
Yeah,
You know, the
was-
A that got dropped off of Aether.
right.
And I think my aha information, or the way I came to work, because I can map my whole journey to where, you know, the instances where I had them aha moments where I went, oh my God, you know, and figured I had it all figured out in the morning, and by the evening it's like, okay, that was one little part. Now I'm drooling on myself and my brain's in my lap.
You got a good memory. If you could map that out, I'm like, sometimes it's hard pressed to remember what path I've taken to get here. I've gone so many damn roads.
But
Oh, yeah.
you know, just a year ago, I thought this right here was Nibiru. You know, this eye with the wings, the wing disc. I thought this was Nibiru, and it was coming to wreak havoc on us. You know, and we were just helpless and whatever. But that's not the case.
I'm starting to think those stories are actually more history. What happened before, if
Yes, that
alignments and
is true.
stuff.
But I mean, Nibiru, the story of Nibiru is the same as the story of Noah's Ark, as the story of the Holy Grail, as the story of Epic of Gilgamesh, as the story of creation itself. You know, all of these creation myths are the same, but the numbers are the same too. Like I never, and there's Ophiuchus, and that's what that was another sign for me was how the hell didn't we know there was 13 signs in the sky? This is our pineal light, our pineal gland, and in our thought form. You know what I mean? If for us to, in my head anyway, it's like, okay, so there's a sacred number 13. You know, when we were told it was bad, but that's the veil that is put up by us, so the knowledge isn't readily available to be misused.
Yeah, because that's like what I was telling you before, like the theory, like with Atlantis, was that we
Yes,
had
and
abilities and we proved that we weren't ready for them. And that's what this whole system is about. Is
right.
We did not the chat the wheat from the tares, so to say.
Yeah,
That's where they put that analogy in there.
Yep, and the whole allegory of the two are in the field and one's
Now,
left standing. Right?
The question is, what's the end game of going through this process? Now, the way you make it sound like the end game is to what kind of comes across to me, at least, was when you're saying is like end game is to I don't know, man. I can't
find
really
the still waters. Yeah.
Yes, to be at one with the ineffable, to know your true home, to know you are the light. You know, with the only way to eternal life is through me. You know.
No, say the end goal. I guess what I was trying to think of is like the end goal. I guess we're told is to remerge with the source or God, and then what? That's what I'm kind of curious. And then okay, we remerge. What then?
I'm curious about that too, and that's where I'm kind of stuck myself.
That's why I think it's the promised land. We're going to inherit this beautiful earth.
That's where kind of like some of that,
like a level up.
That's where some of that stuff where it kind of makes sense to me too, and it resonates some where the new age type of stuff will kind of like tell you, God's in training. We're go through this process so that we can evolve to the point where we're not if we're in charge of a universe or something.
You become the teacher instead of the student.
Yeah, sort of thing. But you're not being kind of what we have here right now, so to say, the opposition or so, or I don't know, maybe that, or but like, and then so the duality too, and the polarity thing, as far as I understand it, that's only like a third and a fourth dimensional type thing. Anything above that, there is no polarity.
No, there has to be in essence, otherwise there is no light.
Wouldn't work.
So you're saying there always has to be the adversary?
Well, not adversaries, so to speak, because when you become the light, you understand that both are necessary for you to exist. I think that's how it works in my mind anyway right now.
I believe that as we travel through the Orion's belt in our spirit before we were born here on Earth, that's what we're here to do. We are here to learn the polar opposites between hatred and love.
Very good.
And take it on to our eternal next, whatever that is.
I think that exactly is what you stated, and we have to realize that the severity of truth is severe on both sides. Whether you like it or love it or hate it or despise it, it's gonna be the same no matter what.
Yeah.
So whatever you think is bad is bad. Whatever you think is good is good.
Well, when I was born, I never thought anything was bad. So I think bad was programmed into me, and it was quite shocking.
I think people just do bad things.
Because you're born as a fool into a selfish world.
Yeah.
And make mistakes.
In that journey, that's the hero's journey, where you have to transmute the selfishness into selflessness.
Yep.
But we're not fools. We are like, we're divine images of God, and then we're put in. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Listen to us.
Yeah, we're idiots.
We're foolish.
Hey, I'm in my last days, so I'm kind of concerned about
our last days.
I feel you.
But our last days are beginning days. That's the point. That everything exists all at one time in a dimensionless, timeless, dimension unknown
time capsule.
it sounds contrived. It sounds obsolescent, but I mean, it's
Right.
you know,
Sounds like
Big Head
bullshit.
Todd and the Monsters has a song, All Life is really just a circle.
and that's
Yeah.
that right there is the symbol. What's a circle to everybody? Infinite, right?
Yeah.
Well, that band
No.
Perfect Circle.
The infinite would be the eights, like figure eight.
Or Primus's song "Mud."
Oh man.
I mean, all of this stuff is just it points to the. My biggest one that I can totally relate to because I've done a lot of study into it was Danny Wilton's information about how would Michelangelo have painted the creation of Adam painting, and it's the same as the two triangles, the thing in Louvre Paris or whatever, you know, that museum. That's same as the tree topping ceremony or the star on top of the Christmas tree, where God's reaching out of the cloud to touch Adam's finger and didn't quite get there, but it's that spark. That's right there where creation's created.
That's the synapse.
You know?
Did you hear what I said?
Nuh-uh.
Sorry. I had to pee. Hey, why not? Let it all hang out. I said
too much information there.
yeah, whatever, right?
You're echoing in the muddy waters. No.
Yeah. I won't flush it.
Okay, go ahead. What were you saying?
It's the spark gap.
Yes. Now we're getting somewhere. That's exactly
it's the synapse. It's the jump point.
Yes.
Oh, just like in our explaining the brain, yeah.
Yes, and that's what the cosmic brain is, guys. That's what everything is. It's us. I mean, and I think it goes down to the atomic level, down to our essence of what makes us, you know. And isn't it funny how recently all this information about what makes up an atom is 99.9% empty space?
It's nothing. And Foo Fighters has a song, "Fuck It All, I Came From Nothing."
Yep. Yeah, it's nothing, but it's everything, all in the same context. That's what we got to wrap our minds around and understand. That's how every level of creation is too.
And on the golden egg, in the beginning of our video, I couldn't help but think of our brain, how it's two halves, and then that spark in the very almost center, but in the upper part of the. I can't tell if it was right or left. I don't know what way it's facing, but it kind of made me think on that level of that's our mind as it is in the spirit, and it's larger than any image could even portray. It's very large, very like I don't mean large like in the Eiffel Tower. I mean spiritually.
Then heard I the voice. Hear thou and understand. The flame is the source of all things, containing all things in potentiality. The order that set forth the light is the word, and from the word comes life, and the existence of all. And again spoke the voice, saying, the life in thee is the word. Find thou the life within thee, and have powers to use of the word. Long I watched the light flame pouring forth from the essence of fire, realizing that life is but order, and that man is one with the fire. Back I came to my body, stood again with the nine, listened to the voice of the cycles, vibrate with powers they spoke. Know ye, O Thoth, that life is but the word of the fire. The life force ye see before thee is but the word, in the world as a fire. Seek ye the path to the word, and power shall surely be thine. That's what we're doing. We're seeking the path to the word. That word is the fire, and it's the the spark gap, the star on the Christmas tree. It's it's just crazy.
The pinnacle.
The pinnacle, and there's no play on that either because the pinnacle sounds pretty much like the pineal to me, you know.
Now,
right.
when you're going through that, the first part of that, when you explain that the word is life, and find out the word, it all told me life is frequency, and it's our job to come here and learn how to use that that frequency. And
and realize that all frequency comes from one source, the word, which the word is the fire, which is the truth.
Well, the word is frequency, is vibration, it's sound pattern. It's the sound pattern is a frequency, and that frequency is what makes up the geometric patterns and the
like the
molecules that stick together and make those the cymatics will form the sacred shapes now, so
right. And I think as our understanding of our self-awareness and the understanding of the whole thing is where the stillness starts coming in, and then you can understand it. And when that all spark happens in your mind, when you meet the ineffable, which is God, I think that is the cauldron and the calm waters all in the same. It's the Apsu and Tiamat, because Apsu is the rest, and Apsu is the chaos, and Tiamat is the rest. The restful state.
Amen.
And also you can attribute Tiamat to the female, and you can attribute Apsu to the male. And it's the same as the philosophical and the scientific.
Let's see here. I thought I knew something.
Eve bit the apple, but we got it stuck in our throat.
Well, it didn't affect Eve. It didn't affect her, but
the Adam's apple.
Yeah.
No, see this. Then asked I of the nine, "O Lord, show me the path. Give me the path to the wisdom. Show me the way to the word. Answer me then, the Lord of the nine. Through order ye shall find the way. Saw ye not that the word came from chaos? Saw ye not that light came from the fire? Look in thy life for disorder. Balance thou shalt balance. Oh, sorry. Balance and order thy life. Quail all chaos of emotions, and thou shalt have order in life. Order brought forth from chaos will bring thee the word of the source, will give thee the power of the cycles, and make of thy soul a force that free will extend through all ages, a perfected sun, S-U-N, from the source. That's just what we just said.
I have a very simple thought. I'm remembering my son one time. He told me, he was visiting a family friend of his for 2 weeks in Texas, and we were talking about food, and he's being taken care of, he's doing okay, blah, blah, blah. And he said, well, Mom, everything's cool here, except there's one ingredient that you put in every meal.
Love.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm thinking salt, pepper, tomatoes. I'm like, what? What is that?
Phil saying that? You remember Phil saying that? Because I asked him, I said, so us eating, because we were asking him the question about eating flesh, eating, carnivores are eating,
Yes.
And he said, no, he said there was an experiment, or there was something. He brought up an instance where this physicist was eating dinner, and he was with a philosopher or something, and the guy who was making the food was a porn addict.
Oh no!
Yes, and all of a sudden the guy got his food, and all of a sudden he started thinking about the philosopher, obviously.
Yes.
Wow.
Thinking about having sex and all these crazy thoughts in his head. And oddly enough, my wife, she doesn't connect with any of this shit. And I said to her about the meat thing, and she said, I think it's more about the handling of the food is what puts intent in the food. And I went, oh my God, you're brilliant,
Yep.
And she looks at me with a freaking glaze over her eyes when I start talking about this stuff. So she inherently knows that, what you just said. That's awesome, Angel.
Say that again.
What?
Angel.
I mean, I figure if it's important in the meals that we cook, it might be important to everything we do.
What you look at.
Yeah.
Even.
Well,
Oh, wow. So your preparation for everything should be your intent of love. And yeah, that's exactly what Phil says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually practice that. I used to be from Chicago, so I've said that before. But inherently very violent person and blah blah blah, fun a lot. And I used to suffer from roids. Like my wife will literally tell you that the reason why she would never let me have a gun before is because if I had a gun, you would know where I went because there'd be crashed cars on the side of the road from people that pissed me off. Anyway,
Well,
what I've done since waking is I set the intent to put a bubble of so-called love or whatever, just a bubble of happiness around me and whatnot. And really, when I intently do that, I do notice a difference in A, the way I feel driving, B, you know, I don't seem to get the people that are like cut me off and like or like rush to get ahead of me to just to slam on their brakes and all that type of stuff. But I just always try to make a point. Like every car, say, "Hey, what's up, buddy? I know you. You're me."
Yeah. My favorite saying is, I hate people that drive like me.
Yeah.
You know? Hey,
What do you mean?
You brought a thought to my mind that and this harkens right to how all of these artists know the words to say in their songs, and they think that the creation of them songs are and it is them, but I mean it comes from a higher source, because last summer I was doing exactly what you just said, Eric, just in a rush trying to get home from a long day of building stonemason work or whatever, and tired and just pissed at the world because I had to spend all my time doing this and that and this and that. And I'm in a rush, and I mean, doing 85, 90 miles an hour and racing the next guy next to me because we're, about to get up to this spot where the traffic is known to stop, and there's always these areas in our towns where we know the traffic is going to back up at a certain time. Yeah. Well, 4 days in a row, dude, in the same week, I'm doing that, and all of a sudden the car pulls in front of me with the license plate with 333 on him. And every time I thought to myself, okay, I need to stop doing this. Then the next day I'm doing the same thing happens. And I'm not kidding either. I'm dead serious about this.
Check
same
yourself.
Car or?
No, not the same car, different car with the same 333 on it. And I actually took pictures of them, and I got them in my drive somewhere just so I could remind myself that, this is, but I don't need that reminder anymore.
I think you made a video about that in the past.
Huh?
I think you made a video about that in the past.
Yes, because 333 has been in my existence forever. And I asked Phil, what is 333? He said, that's God thrice great. I'm like, holy shit, who am I to have that number? Because I am God. You are God. All of us are God. We can create God and create creations light, which is God.
You say the 333, I always think of it as 369, because 3 plus 3 is 6 plus another 3 is 9.
All three of those numbers.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But
yep. And it reminds me of Little John from the windows to the wall.
What? Sorry.
Till the sweat drops on these balls. Till all them females come.
I used to love that.
So that is kind of like your judgment day. When the day you decide that, hey, I'm gonna choose righteousness, and you start in your own judgmental mind, you start picking the righteous and best way to handle a situation. You quit.
Right. Quailing the chaos of emotion. And I kind of quite enjoy being an emotional creature, but I have to enjoy it in an internal way now instead of an external way. Because when my emotions are projected out into the world in the chaotic, archaic way I used to do it, it just creates more chaos, which in turn creates more polarity. Wow.
Yeah.
That's the problem we're in now. That's why I said they'll pay for their forefathers' sins as they pay for their forefathers' sins. Or each generation just gets more screwed up.
And that's the doubling effect, the numbers.
Wow.
Like Dolores Cannon's convoluted universe book she put out. Where everything just gets you know, I say book, but I mean, I've never read it, of course, but I mean, I watched her video on it, and that woman, she came to conclusions by doing things that are, okay, here's the ultimate opposite: spiritual and physical.
Yeah, amen, right there.
In and out. In and out. Same with a female and a male organ. Any outie. Belly button. Any outie.
Never thought of that design anyway. Anyway.
But that's creation. You know, that's the dot in the middle of the circle. Or the circle inside the square.
Never heard that.
Yeah, and that's what the thought exercises of thinking of polar opposites do for you, is it starts opening floodgates of information, guys. And I'm literally not kidding here. When I get done with this podcast, and if I had a couple epiphanies, you know, which I did when I figured out, you know, the quailing of emotion thing, you know, and because I never really thought about it. But I mean, just right there as I'm talking, and that seems to be where I've come to my best aha moments, is when I hear myself talk, which is in the end is going to have to be quailed, because hearing yourself talk is but no good for anybody. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to find the 72 bricks and which brick to start with first, you know, because in the roads, you know what I mean? Like, God gave us mass size history, his story. And then, you know, then we were given wood and metal. But then you got your emotions too. But like we talked about before, you know, you got a joint in every other wall. So somewhere on each side that there's an emotion that's tied together.
List ye, my children, follow my teaching. Be ye ever a seeker of light. Shine in the world of men all around thee. A light on the path that shall shine among men. Follow ye and learn of my magic. Know that all force is thine if thou wilt. Fear not the path that leads thee to knowledge, but rather shun ye the dark road. Light is thine, O man, for the taking. Cast off the fetters, and thou shalt be free. Know ye that thy soul is living in bondage. Fetters thy fear that holds thee in thrall. Open thy eyes and see the great sunlight. Be not afraid, for all is thine own. Fear is the lord of Darkarulu. To he who has never faced the dark fear. I know that fear has existence, created by those who are bound by their fears. That's why I put up a wall to the whole David Icke side of things.
Wow.
And that's where I put up a wall to they.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
How about Metallica? Sorry, I just had. That's how
your brain works. That's perfect, because it shines light on everything, just like Jerry. You know, it's hard to
Trial by Fire.
You don't know how they're thinking. So go ahead.
Trial by Fire.
Very good.
Ride the Lightning.
Nice.
Justice for all.
Nice. And what's the one?
I'm not sure what you're saying.
Nothing else.
When he's has no arms, no legs.
One.
It's called The One, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's called One.
One. Right. Thank you. And what's the other one? For whom the bell tolls? You know. Time marches
That's what I'm saying. We were given all these gifts. They was all laid out for us.
But they also put out Garage Days Revisited. So, I mean, what is that telling us?
That it's a cycle.
Master of Puppets.
Master of Puppets is our own undoing. Is our own, because we pull the strings for ourselves and we just don't realize it.
That's they. I'm telling you, that's a they. That's their they.
Replace the word they, though, until tomorrow. Seriously, guys, replace the word they in your vocabulary with we or us or me.
Right. Because it is us doing that. Now we understand what they're doing, that it ain't all bad. Because
it's necessary. I mean, it has to be that way. Otherwise, there'd be no creation.
But I understand God sent us, he already had this planned out, and he already sent us these gifted people that we could to help
But these gifted people are just extensions of the ineffable of God. We are God. We are the big magnet broken up into a bunch of little magnets.
Little pieces.
The shattered mirror.
Yes, the shattered mirror. Yep.
Good. Yeah.
And I think all of these signs that are there'll be signs in the heavens, there'll be signs among men, there'll be all of these prophetic statements in the Bible. All of them are allegory is algorithm in a computer.
The yo-yo.
Yes, the yo-yo. Nice.
Yep.
Right. Yes, and if there's no up, there's no down.
Right.
If there's no clown, there's no frown. There's no happy, there's no sad, there's no glad, there's no mad.
Mm-hmm.
It goes.
Well, there's definitely got to be a harmony, though.
Yep, there is, and that's the one harmony is when we make the two one again. And that's
inside and out. Because right now we still got work to do on the outside world. I think that's the point.
It all starts from the in, though.
I agree. They already know it.
In our understanding of what we believe and what we label. And it's no coincidence that in the middle, like you say, Jerry, in the middle of believe is lie.
Yeah, that's what the 144,000 thing comes in, or maybe something else where the 100th month gay effect. The more of us get it, so hey, we break the 144K mark, and then
well, I
get it as a whole.
The truth of the matter is there's no breaking the cycles. There is no breaking of the cycles. There is no.
I think the curse would be lifted, though.
Yes, the curse would be us believing that death is death as we know it.
What, that we just die and come back?
Until you make the connection, the tree topper, and then I think there, this is only speculation on my part, but I think we go on to a higher plane of existence, like we become the planet, or we become the, what I mean, the next level of creation.
Mm-hmm.
Because you like the Torah, or the Torah of the Hebrew alphabet, where it overlays all because I think that the way the Hebrew alphabet works is that there's intent in every letter. There's an action or a verb, or what I mean. There's an in or an out, or you know what I mean. And when those are overlaid, there's several levels of of that letter in essence. But there's always what is it called, the aleph? That's at the center of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the Rubik's Cube is exactly that. Is exactly when you lay it all out. Is exactly that. Just like the cross unfolds or folds up into a cube.
Wow. I saw it too.
And all of these things are signs to an individual. That's what makes the path to God, to path to light personal, is because what signs for me aren't going to be signs for you.
Right.
And no matter how much I try to convey my signs, like my biggest sign recently was that movie A Star Is Born, and I didn't even put the title in my mind until afterwards, and I'm like, holy shit, because eyebrows, and that it was just crazy how I made the connection when I realized that, oh my God, all is mind, and it is the fire within us. It's the thought form of us knowing that we create it, but understanding it is the hard part. And that's the top of the tree of life, the hero journey of Shakma, Bina, and Kether. Knowing our wisdom, understanding, and then the Kether, the wisdom, the ineffable, or the seventh, the top of the tree, the star. Because we first have to. And maybe that's where, the circumventing of the natural cycles comes in, is because that thought seeps into your existence. Maybe if I build a tower to heaven, I can just forego the cycle. Or maybe if I build CERN, I could just forego the cycle. Or maybe if I get all this money, I can put all this money and effort into technology and forego the natural state of order and try to create the synthetic state of order. And I become God. Which is what's going on with the big money families. And by the way, isn't it odd that there's 12 families that rule the world from, what I mean? The cabal. Isn't that odd that it's 12? And they all together make the one.
We
So
set it up that way.
You know? Because if you read all this ancient text and all these people that are propagating, you know, it's the money, it's the MFers and this, which it is because money rules that's the beast system or whatever. But I mean, we are part of that system. We create it, we propagate it, we, you know, because we have no choice because it is the system we are in, and it's the system, and it's no coincidence that the third rock from the sun is the third dimension, and it's the fear factory.
System of a Down.
And yep. And the fear is the biggest fetter that binds us to this plane because the fear of death is what keeps us in thrall.
Right.
Yeah, we would have so much fun if it wasn't for that.
And you cannot go to heaven while you're dead.
Because it's actually the opposite.
Right, exactly. And that's what Hades and Pluto means to me.
It's the exact opposite. Flip it. Flip the script.
Right. And Hades is the eighth planet from the sun. Pluto.
So expand on that a little bit for everybody when you're saying flip it.
You're dead now. Come to life. Life after death.
If you die before you die, when you die, you don't die. Born again Christian. That's where the whole born again Christian thing comes in.
It kind of explains how they come across with that whole birth certificate thing and saying that, you know, we're basically born into death and that they own us and blah blah blah. That's how all that works. So
it fits right in line with the hero's journeys. You're born into as a fool into a selfish, devilish world, or the three bears analogy. It's too hot, you know, the human realm. It's too cold. The cold fire of truth, the blue fire of truth, the blue fire of life, you know, and that's the word is the truth. And then just right is heaven.
Well, what is devil? Devolve.
Yes. Or evil or devolve or lived. Right.
Mirror world. That's for sure.
Right. I mean, do you guys feel like you got something out of this talk anyway?
Always.
Oh, yeah.
Or do you feel more confused?
No, not more confused.
So what can we do in right now in our journeys as our 5 people here to get past the separation of what church and state, you know, and that's another thing, church and state separated, no Pledge of Allegiance, or, you know, I hear that's coming back in schools now, but you know, the whole separation of church and state. Remember that whole deal back when we were kids?
Yep.
Now, before that, it was never a big deal. You know, you were allowed to do this or that or this or that. It's like the monopoly thing. You know, why all of a sudden can there be a Maytag washing machine company that makes 16 different name brands or models under one umbrella and you know, the monopoly, or OPEC, or, you know, Rockefeller, or, you know, why are these conglomerates allowed to exist when in the past, just 50 years ago, they weren't, or 20 years ago?
Because they've generated the appearance of competition.
Thank you. There you go. There you go. And they married the two in their own little
the grand illusion.
Right. And money is the root of all evils in our existence. But without it, would we be able to sustain?
I believe the love of money is the root of all evil. I think money is a necessity for this realm.
Yeah, very good. That's very well put.
Well, I mean, before money, people, you know, did what they did. Like, you know, if you were good at making leather shoes, you made some leather shoes, and the guy who could grow corn would grow the corn. And hey, you know what? Hey, I'll give you about 10 bundles of corn, and you give me one of them pairs of shoes, buddy.
Nice. Exactly. Or you use your skills as your
currency.
That's how the system was, and that's how it should be. This whole money system put in is
you build my house.
Part of the manipulation.
Right. Like the first time me and Jerry and I did a podcast was, we called it the Carpenter Meets the Mason, and building a good foundation.
And who knows? Maybe that's our next level of existence, is those for those of us that go through this and find the path and move on. Maybe that is the next level of those people that can, proven to get it and go there. They can live in an existence where everybody works together and there's harmony. And
well, that's the purpose of the stairway to heaven. You build you build one step for the next person.
And there's 13 steps in every flight of stairs.
I had this crazy thought one day sitting in a Kroger parking lot. I looked at this homeless lady, and she was all dirty and obviously disabled. And I looked at her, and all of a sudden I'm like, better treat that lady nice, because you may just be every person here until you figure it out.
That's what it's all about, bro. That's what it's all about.
You just may be everyone.
Saw her.
That upwelling of goodness when you do something good for somebody without even thinking about it.
It's like a power up.
Yes. That is what divine union becomes, because you get so in line with what is right that
you never do anything wrong.
Your higher self finds you, and you become a god, an actual god, an angel. That's what an angel is.
And the way you bypass the system is assess with the heart, not the mind.
Well, you have to balance the two, but yeah, exactly. You have to allow your heart to make your decisions.
Yep. And if you allow your heart to make the decision, you'll never make the wrong decision, ever.
Right. If you have a soul. Right.
Right.
Wow.
Right, because we obviously know there's people out there that are soulless because due to their...
I was just about to ask if you were making a pun towards the soulless NPCs.
Don't even get me.
And your heart is the center.
The Anu, yep. The Anu of our being, yep.
It's the gyro, the spin.
Black hole.
Wow.
It is. That's how I came to understanding all that part, is because the Anu, Dr. Ledbetter did a bunch of thought. It's essentially the 7 spirals inward and the 5 spirals outward, conjugate, all connected to each other, the magnetic toroid in essence, but it's in the form of an egg and a human heart, actually. Looks
so
like
is it unfillable?
Dr. Ledbetter?
No, it's the life force that is read on an EKG machine. So it's the connection of all things that are animate in our reality. And another thing is, I used to think that there was 2 different life forces in animals and the humans.
No.
That's not the case.
No.
And I realized this by putting my dog down and seeing the look in her eyes when she got the shot, like, you son of a,
Yeah.
like I took her life away, and I'll never do nothing like that again. And that's where abortion is, comes in and all that other stuff. And that's why there's such a battle there. But that very same look my dog gave me, my dad did right before he died. And that's how I know. That's how I know that this is all true. And I mean, because I experienced it just by the look in their eyes. It's the same look, man.
I remember when my father-in-law passed away, I'm almost certain that he left before he left.
Yes. Yeah, it depends on the circumstance, I'm sure, but yeah. But my dad, he because when you're dying of organ failure and stuff, they call it dopamine coma. But in essence, is what they're doing is they're euthanizing you.
Oh God.
They're overdosing you, so you die a painless death.
Yeah, my best friend's mom had ALS, and it's just not a pretty thing. And he dumped an entire bag of morphine in at the last second. And what's so crazy about this, at the exact moment she was passing away, she was staring out the window at a cardinal.
Yeah.
Dude, I got claws in my shoulders, man.
and that cardinal followed us for several days.
That's awesome, dude.
It literally hung on to the mirror. He had like camper mirrors on his big old Dodge Yukon or whatever those things are called.
Her energy went to that cardinal.
Yeah.
Yes.
And at the exact same time, behind the cardinal, the sun was rising.
Nice. Yes. Now, when my dad, right before he passed, well, it was like 15 or 10 minutes before he passed, they gave him a huge shot of dopamine, you know, and they said, well, you're going to wake up again. You might as well say your prayers. And I had a preacher there, and he said the last rites, you know, and then I was begging my preacher to say the last rites again. And he said, no, I already did that. And I'm like, well, can't you do it again? Just, you know, please, you know, no. And he was stuck in his belief. And I didn't know that till now that's exactly what the lesson was from that experience. But my dad should never have opened his eyes again. But 5 seconds before his heart stopped beating, he opened his eyes, sat up, and looked me in the eye. And that's the look that my dog gave me when I gave her the shot at the vet. Because I was under the illusion that when you put your dog to sleep, that's what you do. It just goes to sleep. But no, that when your heart stops, your eyes open up and you're like, holy shit, what's going on?
Right.
Because that's the moment of transmutation.
When my father-in-law was kind of in that process, he had congestive heart failure and diabetes. Kidneys were shutting down. He was on dialysis, and so we were in the hospital for several days, and he was just in horrible condition. Just wouldn't move, wouldn't eat, nothing. And it was kind of like your dad. A few hours before, he got up, walked around, had a conversation, had kind of like a last meal, blah 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 blah. And we were there, and he laid back in the bed, and then we all surrounded him and said, it's okay. You can go.
That's exactly what I said to my dad. Wow.
You can go.
Wow.
And, he pointed to the wall. He tried to draw a picture. He tried so hard to draw a picture, and it almost, I can't remember the picture very well, but it kind of looked like a circle, but he couldn't make the circle. Like he was trying, but it got scraggly, Yeah,
he was shaking or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was having a conversation with something or somebody or something on the other side. And it was almost as if he was getting directions, and he would shake his head, and he's like, oh, he just kept saying, okay, I understand. Okay. Like a guide or something. I don't know, but he was clearly having a conversation with us, piece of saran wrap next to another piece of saran wrap next to another piece of saran wrap that we couldn't see.
Right. Yeah. Did he, was he like my dad? He was talking in his sleep a lot.
Yeah. Making
weird noises and shit.
And what's the craziest thing is, so we transferred his body from here to up near Chicago. It's the region, so Portage, Valparaiso, Maryville, if you guys know where that is. And so the hearse was ahead of us, and we followed the hearse, and I swear to you that it was like a beam of sunlight shined down on us and that hearse all the way up to the funeral. It was crazy.
Wow.
Just crazy.
So were you attached to him like he was your father? I mean, I can feel emotion in your voice when you're talking about it.
Yeah. I've had a really jacked up deal. I was in like 8 foster homes in 8 years and bounced around and adopted.
So you aligned yourself with your father-in-law like he was your father then?
He was like the dad, yeah.
Dude, now after his death, you couldn't come to terms with it, right?
No.
He would come to you in your dreams, and you would wake up thinking he's all right and he's still alive. Am I right?
Yep.
Like nothing ever happened.
Yep.
Dude, that's exactly how I felt, man.
That's exactly what happens.
That's amazing,
You're all right.
man.
Your meat shield just gone.
That is so freaking amazing, dude. how it, and people don't get to these conclusions by texting or commenting on videos. So this shit is why I'm doing this, and I'm going to do it as long as I'm not working, and, I'm still breathing and farting because I appreciate it, man. And
he would also come to my wife, or, she would sense it type of thing. She kept saying, she could just sense it, even stronger than me. Obviously, I guess, right? Because of the.
Well, not obviously. I think if you align yourself with love, that love is God itself and is our dad itself. You know what I mean?
The unbreakable bond.
Right. Because once you love something or somebody unconditionally, there is no breaking that love, whether or not you're dead or alive.
No matter how bad you fucked up.
Right. Exactly. And that's where the whole died on the cross analogy and forgive us. You can sin your whole life, and then if you repent and do what's right, you are forgiven, and you can enter the holy kingdom of God.
And repent just means turn from your shortcomings.
Right. And
learn.
The whole thing of it is what makes it personal is because you cannot lie to yourself. You cannot fake it to make it.
Right.
You can lie to everybody around you, but you can't lie to yourself.
No.
That's what makes it personal.
And if everybody thinks they're talking to themselves, and in a way they are, but I have a theory that we're projected in from a higher, like a movie projector, like a higher plane type of thing.
Yeah, we're like
we're
like the ultimate VR, something like that.
Well, you're the antenna. Here, think about it like this: you're the TV set. The signal goes into the TV. You can smash the TV to smithereens, but the signal's still broadcasting.
Yep, and you're just not able to pick it up
until you get a new signal or a new antenna.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's perfect. And right there, all these examples that we're coming to conclusions in our minds is exactly how creation is, man. On every level, it's just repeated. That's where the Fibonacci sequence comes in, and the spirals of life, the tornado, the hurricane, the drain, and there's no coincidence that you go to the south hemisphere, the water drains the opposite. You go to the northern hemisphere,
flips the opposite direction.
Right. Same with the hurricanes. That's the difference between a cyclone and a hurricane.
Right.
A cyclone,
The spin, the opposite. Yeah.
Right. And that just shows you that if you're on the equator in the equilibrium, because if you're in Ecuador,
then it's straight down.
Goes straight down, goes whoosh, no spin.
Right. Center
of all things.
Holy.
That's where the Great Pyramid of Egypt is in the geological center of the earth.
Wow. Yes. Which means this literally is center stage.
Yes. Yes. And that's why there's no cap on it right now.
And that's why the planet's really so special. And that's why it's probably visited by all kinds of creatures.
Yes. Exactly, man. Exactly. Because we are part of a whole system. We are that system. And every other creature that's in our cosmos is the system. And that's why these new age event is happening, people, genre, because I'm not knocking them because their knowledge is as good as anybody else's, but as long as they're going to end up at their, and that's all roads lead to Rome. We've said that, but I mean, that's where this whole, what was my point there? That's where this
You're all coming to see the grand finale.
Yeah, that's why. All of these, like the Corey Goods of the world, say that for some reason Earth is important.
Right.
Yes, it is.
It's because we create the Allspark for the galaxy and everything to exist.
That's amazing.
That's why we're so important.
You ever hear Bob Seger's song "Turn the Page"?
Yes,
or
one of my favorite songs.
Never Ending Story, the movie, The Never Ending Story.
Yep. Oh, Treyu. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, and what is he riding?
Like a furry
the what's it called in the Hermes what's it called when the red dragon comes to him, and red dragon means light, because anything that's like the slain lamb, the blood of the lamb is the light, you know that, right?
Oh yeah.
And that's why the dragon was white. That's why it was white,
Crazy.
And it's the same as the what is the Pymander,
Right.
Hermes in the Pymander, when he's sitting in the desert and he fasts and he's asking the all what he is, and can you explain yourself? What are you? And he says, I am the light.
Well, have you ever? You'll probably really think I'm nuts now, but so I was. I'll just go ahead and say it for the NSA database upload. So I was doing a sun gazing type of thing, right? And I went back in the house and I closed my eyes. I thought I'd lost my mind, but in this, almost like in the center of my forehead, it was almost like a white snake.
That's what the snake on the Egyptian headdress is about. The cobra.
And it freaked me out, but I'm like, then I thought about it. I was like, White Snake, the album White Snake, blah, blah, blah.
Nice.
And that Survivor, Eye of the Tiger.
Yep.
Remember I sent you that Eye of the Tiger thing? And
yep. And that's what I mean. Everything in our world, everything, guys, can be related to the same damn thing. Everything.
And if you look at the on the headdresses of the Egyptians, and if you look at the a bunch of them, you'll see like it's mind. It's all mind.
You look at this image right here. See the wheels within the wheels here? The coin standing on end?
Right.
The dragon, the lion, the eagle, or the what's that? The turkey buzzard, whatever that thing is, or the raven.
Turkey buzzard. I like that.
I mean, look at what's he in?
Sun.
What's he surrounded by? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, did I count them right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There's 14. I don't know why that is. That's
damn.
Kind of blows the theory out of it. But I mean, but
the four
this
winds
right here,
make a triangle.
huh?
The four winds make make the two triangles, one up, one down.
Oh yeah, right here. Yeah. Wow. Mm-hmm. And the four winds are actually the four earthly elements are air, water, fire, and earth.
That too. I think that's what keeps the motor running, though.
That's exactly what it is, because when we understand it is the fifth element, which is, I just said a movie title right there, The Fifth Element.
Love that movie.
Which is
love shoots the spark gap. If you remember when they kissed, the light just went. Do you remember that?
Greatest of these is love.
Yeah.
What did you say?
The light shot out and saved everybody from the planet coming in.
Man, I'm over here holding back, but you were talking about family members passing away, for lack of better words, maybe passing on. I was raised in the belief that my father was deceased. And I could feel him here. So I did searches very often. And I had a woman respond. They were calling him Papa Joe. Papa Joe, Papa Joe. And when I finally found these people, they told me that he was in a hospice care. He had a hole in his throat, tubes and everything. He was dying of bone cancer. And he had been incoherent for about 9 months or so. And they decided to bring the phone in when they found me, his only surviving child.
You were adopted? Sorry.
No, this is my real father. No, I wasn't adopted. I was kidnapped by my very vindictive hellion of a mother. And she told me my father was my father was dead.
Jeez.
She couldn't handle the fact that he was in love with another woman.
Right.
But anyway, I did a search because I felt like she had been lying to me. I mean, I didn't feel he was dead. I could just, something inside of me could not rest that he was deceased. There was something not right about it. Well, I found him in August 2009. And a woman, like someone he was living with or had been living with, answered my request, and we corresponded a little bit. She brought her phone into his room, where he wouldn't even recognize his cat. He hadn't been breathing. I mean, he was breathing, but through a tube. But the day she decided to bring my my phone call into his room, I'm getting choked up. It was a 3-minute conversation. Yes, I said 3. And in that 3 minutes, I was sitting in Texas in a truck outside of a carnival I wanted no part of. And he was in hospice care somewhere on the outskirts of Chicago. But for that 3 moments, I felt like all the times that he was gone in my life, he was never really gone. He was right there through giving birth, getting married. He was there the whole time.
Right.
In the spirit, even though he wasn't there, like I could look at him in the face and say, hey, but he was there. And
did you have flashes of that when you talked to him ever?
I could see pictures in my mind. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes. It was a supernatural, super above earth box thinking. It was amazing. And I'm telling you, after 3 minutes of a conversation, I don't want to say how old I was at the time, but all those years, it was like a healed, an emptiness had been filled.
Right.
And a couple of weeks later, I had my birthday. And then I found out a couple of days later he let himself go, but he waited till after my birthday. I was on my way to go see him, and he told me, he said, no, now, Kimberly, I want you to remember me the way you remember me and not see me as I am.
Right.
I want you to remember that. And on his deathbed, man, wow.
Isn't that amazing?
People want to deny that there's a higher, greater power. Call it love, compassion, call it whatever, but it's on a different frequency than yeah.
It's our true self, who we are.
I said all that to say that. I'm sorry, guys. It's hard for
beautiful.
me. My first time.
Real name, so it's all good.
Let me tell you a real quick story. So I was adopted, all that foster care crap, blah 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 blah. So I originally was with my original mom and dad, and they both got sick and ended up in nursing homes or something like that. But so I searched for them for 30. Well, I was 8 when I was finally adopted, so roughly 30 some years. Wow. Could never find. I knew my mom's name, but I couldn't remember her maiden last name, and I knew my dad's name because it was the same as mine. But so you always had that empty feeling where you wanted to see him again.
Something, yeah.
So I ended up getting sick, and I got this Social Security thing in the mail, and it showed.
I don't want the air hitting up.
It showed a last name that I'm like, Blue. Man, it was some memory, But somehow I ended up in contact with the Blue people, which ended up being cousins who knew my dad, who then knew my mom's maiden name. But I searched and searched and searched, and no matter what, I still couldn't find maiden names. So And I missed my dad by 2 years, but I found all this family. So I took his Bible out when I got home. I took it outside and I looked up to the sky and I said, now remember, I have not been able to find my mother for all those years. And it wasn't 30 seconds. I went back in and all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. I found her obituary, bam, instantly. And then I was able to go to the grave and blah, blah, blah. But just, but the reason I told that story is because it was like a hole being filled.
Yes.
Even though I never got to see her again in the flesh, I don't know how to describe it. You know, how do you describe that feeling? It was like being healed.
Or your higher self was just letting you know that, you know, all is one and, you know,
all is well.
Yeah, all is well.
And maybe the reason I couldn't find it or whatever all those years is because I wasn't ready or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
It's odd that all of us are probably right around the same age, or, you know, I'm 45 and Phil says that it's middle-aged people that find the yearning to figure out, you know, that's the midlife crisis, I believe. And isn't it odd?
It's not a crisis.
It's when menopause kicks in for women usually.
Hey, they've been on pause a long time.
But you know what I mean? So
no. I remember my stepfather when he was like that age, and he didn't go through what I'm going through now.
How old are you, Eric?
45. 46.
How old are you?
46.
46.
How old are you, Jerry?
I'm 46.
How old are you, Angel?
Hey, I guess because, you know, my brother died of leukemia when he was born with it. So I was like 5, maybe 6. He was like 3 or 4. I think it was a year, maybe 2 years apart, because he'd be your age. But I guess from that, you know what I mean, learning death from a very early age, I mean, it just hardened me so much, you know, that I don't know, I never cried. I didn't even cry when my mom passed away, but that was a, you know, hard trip anyhow. But I don't know, when you start dealing with it from a child, I couldn't imagine, you know, and I never understood either, you know, why my parents disowned me, because, you know, I mean, it'd be hard to love another child. You're scared to lose another one, you know.
Exactly.
But didn't understand till I got.
So you've been on your own for a while, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, always.
Well, in that 3 moments,
But I wouldn't know what I know if I, you know, I mean, if I wouldn't have lived this
I
life.
always felt like I was abandoned by my father, and I believed a lot of, you know, what should I call it from her? Well, nothing. But I honestly believe in that 3-minute conversation. Whatever was said, it was more about what was known in the unspeakable. Is that he, in his spirit, thought that he was doing the best thing for me by staying out of my life. And it was in total opposition to how I felt. I felt like he thought I wasn't worthy. So
you felt abandoned.
Yeah.
Lost.
It's like the upside down world was turned right side up. Not on the earth, but in my spirit. And that's what I needed to see and know. And if my
so
eyes
have you forgiven your mother? Have you forgiven your mother?
You know what? I was really into the Bible when this happened. I was reading the Bible and talking everything, forgiveness, grace, mercy, all of the, and I was really pouring out my heart because I knew my mom was very evil. So I was praying for her soul, her salvation, I mean, I hate her, but I don't want her to burn in hell for eternity or whatever they teach us. So I'm crying out. I mean, a long time. I fell asleep on my Bible with, a Hershey chocolate bar in my mouth. Yeah. Yeah. But I woke up to finish the prayer, and it was as if my divine self or Holy Spirit rose up and said, well, do you really mean this prayer right now? Because what if she sees my face before you do? And I got so angry because I'm thinking, I want to see Jesus' face. I always see him and he's faceless when I pray. And wow, I mean, that threw me for a loop. It threw me, I was in a frenzy for a couple of days there. And I said, okay, yes, even if she sees your face before me, and help me to believe what I'm really saying right now, because I'm kind of jealous. But yeah, I had to totally give it all to the creation. I had to give it all away, because it says in scriptures, and it has been very therapeutic for me, to thank God in all things. I don't like accepting things that are bad, like my mother being unloving and all that, but
Yeah.
I have to understand the polar opposites of love and whatever that is that she was doing. I don't know the walk that she chose to come down here. I don't know. I just know that when I was in heaven, I wanted to come down here and comfort her, and she rejected me, and my spirit was, well, she's rejecting me. What do I do? I didn't know what to do with that. So it's like my walk here has been very challenged this time around. So I believe that eternity is eternity, and we go from one to the next, and our
There's that
universe.
symbol. Did you pull that symbol up of what did I tell you? The download something. I can't go back on my phone.
This one right here.
Yeah,
But
see
yes,
that?
I did forgive her. It was hard, but yeah. I was challenged on every level in forgiving her because I wanted to remain angry.
That's the whole lesson, I think, is because if we remain foolish and think that holding a grudge is befitting of whoever you're holding the grudge against, then in essence, you're holding the grudge against yourself, because you are one.
Yes.
Not only that, but just because they don't know that you're holding a grudge against them, and they go about their life, no promise. You're the only one that your grudge is affecting.
Yes,
Right.
the physical manifestation. Yeah. What were you going to say, Jerry, about this?
Very complex.
I was trying to find that other symbol for you. That I think it's my downloader or something.
Can I see it on my screen? Is it?
No.
Am I sharing the screen? You see these images I'm pulling up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? You want to share something?
I haven't figured out how to use this thing yet, so.
Because you're on your phone.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to get a lot.
Were you on your phone, Rodney?
Yeah. Did you ever get a chance to ask her why she made the decisions that she did?
I did. Prior to her passing, it's kind of complex. I moved up here to Indiana, and within a very short time, they found my mother laying on the floor, and she rented her rooms out of her house to people on Craigslist and Alcoholics Anonymous, people like that. And I always vowed that I would take care of her in her old age.
Yeah. Don't worry, we're here to hold it.
But anyway, she was laying on the floor for 9 hours before somebody finally called for help, and they cleaned out the house. So this is very complex for me to even speak about it. But tell me your question again. I got caught up in emotions.
Did you ever get a chance to ask her why she made the decision she did?
Okay, about the time when I found out she was renting rooms, I had gone in and tried to help her and monitor these people about 5 years ago. 7 years ago. 5 years before her passing. And she was afraid to trust me. So me and my son were driven out. I did ask her, all she could say was she did the best she had with what she did the best she could with what she had. And she didn't really know what love is, and she didn't believe in it. And I came down to pour that into her, and she just didn't see it. And I think God is wanting me to know, or whatever you want to call creation, is wanting me to know that if she had seen it, she would have embraced it, but she couldn't see it because she was blinded by things. She'd gone through things in Iran. She'd gone through things in all around the world that just, she shut it down. She shut it down. So she couldn't receive heavenly being coming down and just wanting to love her. Call me daughter, but that was the ultimate thing in heaven, is why I came down. And my son, in contrary to that, my son, he knows that he's been sent here to love me. He knows that he was sent here like his mom. He was sent here. I failed on my mission to show her love, which I love her to this day. I don't love what she did, and I don't love the battles that she put me through, but I love her.
Sure.
My son is here, and he understands now that he's been sent here on a mission to love his mom, but he also has to learn whatever else it is on top of that.
Maybe he's the one repairing the bond.
Yeah.
Or something.
It's all linked together somehow. It's an amazing tapestry. It's amazing.
One thing that helped me on my path, because I had similar situations going on with, I'm sure, like a lot of people out there with childhood and growing up, but one thing that helped me on my path of forgiveness and realizing is that what they really did, whether they knew it or not, was a service to me. And maybe they did it knowingly or not, but
right.
And sometimes the hardest thing to do, and I see it now being a parent, is the hardest thing to do is something that is not going to be received well, but in the long term, it's in the benefit of your child, and you're only doing it because you love them, and type of thing. And there's people that's their role in this life, is to play those parts so that we can have the lessons and learn. And like I said, I've come to that. I learned that
woman was the hardest woman I.
Well, without what you went through, you wouldn't be who you are.
Strong.
Right.
It polished your diamond, is what it did.
Yeah.
It's hard to think of it that way.
Better way of saying it there. That's good.
She used to call me her diamond. I'm a diamond in the rough, but I never thought of it her. Oh, Lord have mercy. We're going to
And don't forget, we're all diamonds in a sea of clay.
Why do I feel like an ogre right?
There's a reason that we're all here. There's a reason that we're all talking. We don't know it.
That's true.
But there's a...
Just let it flow.
There's a reason.
But what it did for me in the long run is made me a better parent and a very loving grandma. Yeah.
Definitely don't sound old enough to be a grandma, but either way, congrats.
I always end with this thought: it'll all work out. Somehow, this all works out.
It does. That is the miraculousness of it all, and it's going to keep going and going and going. And so are we. We are spirit beings having a human experience. Otherwise, we wouldn't pass away. We would be here longer. I mean, and this would be our chosen destination forever. But eternity is our chosen destination. This is just I feel like it's a classroom. I don't know how to say it. Like a classroom. We have to learn something within ourselves that is in the image of our Creator, that is love. The depth of the love and the power that it instills in opposition to everything that says it doesn't exist. What?
Somebody eating. I'm looking for that symbol. You got Verizon? Look, my
I'm
account
listening.
download.
I hear crunching. I listen to readers.
Yeah,
Gluten free. I can't have any. I mean, arsenic free. Come here. My dog's got me sitting on the end of the chair.
It's all it's only Angels. Hers the only mic that's lighting up.
But I've questioned if we're all angels here on Earth.
Oh, not all of us. There's some real ass hats here.
Never
Call them
mind.
aliens. They're not Gentiles, gentlemen.
Well, they play their part too, though.
Meat.
We have to be as good as they are on our plane. God, what? Is that me doing that?
I flipped my screen and that sound went away, but I don't know if it was me.
Somehow I have a black screen again.
I'm trying to load. Are you guys seeing Solar System Scope right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's loading.
Very pixelated.
That's what's messing it up. I'm trying to get it to load.
I'm learning. Let me try that. Okay. Triangle.
But your mic's not coming.
No.
Is it his mic?
Huh?
Only Angel's mic is lighting up on the static. Well, no.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shut this down. This is.
Do you think it's that download that does that? Makes that weird noise, or?
Yeah, it's because I don't have enough bandwidth in my computer. I think that should be better now, right?
I guess that's better than dial up.
Yep. Yeah, and think about this: the dial-up thing. Remember the
That was awful, dude.
Hey,
but that, in essence, is the light.
I love hearing Phil talk. He puts things on a different, like a mind opening.
Different perspective, yeah.
Well, oh my God.
He said he's been training himself since he was enlightened for 4 years, and it was weird that I reached out to him when I did because he hadn't talked to anybody since he was enlightened, and he thought he was gonna not talk to anybody for the rest of his life.
I can understand that. I think I became enlightened a while back, and then my people thought I was crazy, so I shut it down for a long time. And I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to get it back, but I tread very lightly, and then I'm not balanced, so I come across too strong, and then back off too far, and I'm trying to find balance.
Yeah, I think that's what every one of us is up to right here. You know, because we all know inside that this is the what we are. I mean, I think that's why we're sitting here for 3 hours talking to each other.
That's crazy.
You know?
Has it been that long?
Yes, it's been 3 hours.
Wow.
I'm not complaining because I'll sit here all day doing it until I have to do something. You know,
it doesn't seem like it.
No, I don't, and that's what time is. Is time is nothing because it's timeless. You know,
it's love. It's awesome to be connected, though. I mean,
isn't it way better to talk instead of type?
Oh yeah.
Well, I always talk texting, and it would go through with wrong words. So yes.
Yeah.
My buttons are too small.
Like I told you, Steve, my brain goes 1,000,000 miles an hour. My mouth goes 1,000. My fingers do 20.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then when you try to do the speech to text, it all comes out and messed up because you're talking too fast.
I think my fingers stutter.
I'm just too lazy to type, so I do the text to speech, and then I have to proofread it, and it takes just as long, and if not longer. And by the time you get the thought out, it's passed by in chat and everybody's on to something else.
I think Google blocked me from using Alexa because I kept asking it to explain God.
Oh.
What did it say?
There's a glitch in the system.
And then that's when you came across me and Phil and our information. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding on that, of course. You know, and but
No, I
that
think that's
right
how
there
it
in essence
happens.
is the ego, you know, where the whole side road or sidetrack comes into play, you know, where people think, I know this, I know that, you know, and I know it all, and
I know
you know,
nothing.
You know nothing.
and you know nothing. You're right.
I
Did
know
you,
nothing.
That's
you
the only
ever
thing I
find
figured
that
out through all
symbol,
this.
Steve?
No, I didn't. What's it called? The Verizon symbol?
Well, I just look at any of them, but I think it's my account downloader.
Where?
It's funny it's called that though.
How are you doing that? Jeez. I'm going to have to watch the video on this.
What are you talking about? The symbol for my account downloader?
Yeah, you see the dartboard, but the arrow comes up from the bottom and points right down to the middle.
Hold on, let me see here.
Okay.
There's a
No.
lot of them symbols.
Let's go through it together. Let's look. What do we got?
Okay.
Are we seeing anything that looks like?
It'd be on like my
Okay, I see a screen. What is this?
Helvetica?
My Verizon?
It's probably under
What?
my account download, but it'd be under like a Verizon phone symbol,
Verizon?
isn't it?
Oh.
No.
Like
Okay.
that?
Oh,
Mm.
Can you see the screen, Jerry?
yeah.
I see the screen, but it's very small.
That's what she said.
I don't think it's Verizon, dude. It's what do I got?
American Online?
If you still got America Online, just hang up and get off the internet.
Track.
Gentlemen, I just shared that story about my father because I thought it was amazing how God knit together a long, lonely life with years in the middle, and he wrapped it up in 3 minutes. I mean,
that's pretty profound in itself. Yes.
yeah. I mean, there were words spoken, words not spoken. And he says this, my father used to say this thing. I remember when I was a little girl, he would say, I have something like, I have places to go, I have things to do, places to go, people, something like that. And he said it again at the end of our conversation right before he hung up, and then he died a couple weeks later. I mean, well, his body gave out, you know. I can't really remember it now. It's a glitch. But that's his.
Did you hear what I said?
No. What'd you say?
She'll meet again. I guarantee it.
Well, yeah, because when you're back into the furnace, into the fire of the all, you have no choice to meet yourself because you are one with yourself. But I think I'm trying to get these images back because I had a couple of points I wanted to make before we were ended this. But
I guess what I'm struggling with is, it's like if we are all the all. We are all the all, because my father was I don't even know how to say it.
yeah, whether your father was a bad man, an evil man, or good man, a great man, he still was part of the all. Everybody is, even the murderer, even the thief, you know.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, even the priest, even, you know, the good priest, you know, it sucks that I have to say the good priest, but
I'm not right. No.
But there in itself is another conundrum or a polarity, you know.
Yeah. I can't even put it into words right now. It's like it's right there, but I can't put it into words.
Was he an atheist?
No, he was just an ordinary man that meant no harm to anybody, but he would, if you meant harm to his family, he would take it down.
Well,
But
think about this.
he wasn't super religious. He wasn't super anti-religious. He was just existent.
Imagine if you were born
Balance in the middle.
in the middle of the Sahara, had no experience, no stories, nothing.
Right.
Does it matter?
Mm.
Well, that's like me and not reading a book in my whole life, you know, not flooding my thought with, you know, and I can still come to the same conclusions, you know.
Well,
Right.
he asked a question that doesn't. Does what matter? What is the what?
Right.
I in terms of, it doesn't matter what you've been taught, religion, any of that.
Right.
Because if you weren't taught any of it, I think it all ends up the same. I don't know how to explain that, but
I think you'd be there much faster if you weren't taught that the way we're taught and
probably.
like that.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
spiritual side of it, you maybe will get there faster, but I think, I don't know, maybe.
Well, I read somewhere where even it's written that Jesus turned tables and slashed the whip at religious people. So, I mean, I'm not even.
Well, he flipped the table at the church, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was not
That's
happy with
Flip
how
the script.
he
And
would
then he said,
reprimand the Sadducees, the Pharisees, the whatever.
yeah, exactly. It's just that they flipped it since then. He's been like the humble, holy, you know, like never did nothing. But he even said, you know, I came to basically rattle their cages and overthrow their system. You know, that's what I tell them. You're like, people don't witness and see it. It even tells them, like, your father, when you worship, is the devil. You know, my father is not the same God, not the same person.
No.
And what was he really referring to when he was on the cross saying, "Why hast thou forsaken me?" What was he really saying?
He was speaking for us.
I think it's maybe a little more than that even.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I start at the ground. Yeah, yeah.
Well, they
What
say
do you
part
think,
of it
Steve?
in
What's your
Hebrew
what's
means
your
son of the Father.
I
So
think
when he said free Barnabas, they were really saying free the son of the Father, and Jesus thought he was getting free. You know, Bar Jesus, son of Barnabas. In Hebrew, that meant son of the Father.
yeah, the one after the zero, because the zero is the ineffable, which is infinity.
Mm-hmm.
One is the all in itself, and the zero and one is the exact same formula as the squaring and the circle. And if you think of the cross as the upright jed, you know, this thing right here, this is the jed pillar with the four elements.
Yeah.
And what the jed pillar is the four elements in the erect truth.
holy shit? Wait till you see this picture.
You got one? I don't know how to
Tear it up.
I gotta find it.
Oh,
Yeah, you guys are probably a little bit limited on your capabilities too on the phone.
How do you do this? I don't know what Zoom is.
but this right here is what made it all click for me, and it was the Star is Born movie. Right here, the eyebrows.
Why can't I make it bigger? I can't see it. I'm ready to throw my
Why do
phone.
I hear that from women all the time?
I don't know why you hear that.
I had to say it. Damn, why are you women always saying that shit to me? God, I'm horrible.
That was not my intent.
Well, I figured such.
Jeez.
It's never my intent to go there, but it seems my male mind brings me there.
Well,
See, this right here is the pineal light, the wisdom of all, the spark, the everything.
Lord have mercy.
And this is the whole head of us. This is the top of our head. And this is our eyes. Left brain lobe, right brain lobe. Pluto. This is a symbol for Pluto, the arms without the circle on top. You know? This is a symbol for Pluto right here, the Ankh with the arms.
See now, on your formatting on that phone makes the image look smaller. Like yesterday when I had it up on my screen, it looked more like an elongated head, like exactly like an elongated head. And
yes. Yes.
where that image there looks more rounded and shorter for some reason on that way.
Yeah, because it was a different image too. That one was a tapestry. This one is a reproduction.
Okay.
Tapestry. Okay.
Yeah, it was actually a picture of a tapestry that was from ancient days that was still intact. You could tell it was a little tattered.
Right.
But this is a digital rendition of it. And this right here is because Thoth was depicted as a baboon-headed god and a ibis-headed god at different times in Egyptian myth, you know. And these are baboons. And this is the chalice of the female. Yeah, baboons I don't know exactly what the symbolic meaning of a baboon is.
I've been doing a lot of that breaking down of word stuff lately, and now when you said tapestry, I'm stuck on it. I'm thinking,
I know, right?
The apes try. It's the only thing I can get out of it. The apes try.
Nice, dude. That's awesome.
I'm thinking tapestry. Come on.
As an empty canvas or telling of what is. That's what I think of when I hear tapestry.
It's too small. I can't.
It's like my appendix was removed, you know? Rodney, was your appendix removed?
No.
Yeah.
That's a miracle.
I think I still got my tonsils too.
Yeah, I don't understand that tonsil thing either. That's just because I had strep throat my whole life. I think I'm or my whole childhood. I think I'm a carrier of it. You know, I carry the strep gene or whatever.
Oh.
Because my kids get it all the time.
I had it. I got the lucky birthday gift of when I turned 21, getting scarlet fever.
No.
Ooh, ouch. And that's kind of weird because scarlet fever.
I'd been drinking for years before that, so it was no big deal.
But what did scarlet fever when you got scarlet fever? What was scarlet in lore or our memory? What do you think of when you hear scarlet? The scarlet letter.
Red letters.
Light.
I hear red thread.
Light? You think scarlet with light? I think red. So.
Yeah, well, red is light.
Mm-hmm. Red shift. You ever hear that?
Yes, where it's moving away from us. Supposedly, the planets. Red shift moving away. Is it red moving away and blues moving towards us, or is it vice versa?
Something like that. But I mean, it's yeah, it's. I think it's exactly what you just said, and that's where the red. And think of this, guys. Now the Hopi prophecy, the red and the blue Kachina.
Right.
Now, I wish I could find that post from Phil.
Yeah, I thought that was Nibiru coming in and leaving. Damn it, I was wrong.
Yes.
Bastards.
Right.
Late.
How much time? But that
Stop orbiting. Just go.
But Nibiru, in the cosmological definition of it in the cuneiformtext.org, is essentially the separation of the calm water. You know, it's the creation myth.
Right.
And it's the same as our Noah's flood story, which is the our knowledge rising, or our being rising through the chakra system, the seven chakras.
Well, what I mean, the prophecy is like it's supposed to happen again.
Look at this. You are a function of this total galaxy, bounded by the Milky Way, and this galaxy is a function of all other galaxies. You are that vast thing you see far, far off with great telescopes. Mm-hmm. You look and look, and one day you are going to wake up and say, why? That's me. Mm-hmm. And in knowing that, you never die. You are the eternal thing that comes and goes.
Ooh.
And you ever think of the gas station, the Come and Go?
The never-ending story.
Wow.
But when I used to think of the gas station Come and Go as, that, why would they name it Come and Go? And I thought of a sexual thing. When essence it's the same. When essence it's the same thing, because our spirit, when we become divine union, when we have that divine union, our spirit gets ejaculated through our phallus, which is our body erect, the truth, the jet pillar, through the top of our head.
Jedi Knight.
I don't want to have that as a picture of what happens when you die. Now, Steve.
No, when you die, when you die, you cannot go to heaven. You have to die before you die to go to heaven. You have to do it while you're alive.
But I did die. I'm born dead.
No. You're born as a fool into a devilish world that creates selfishness into a selfish world, and you have to figure out how to be selfless to reunite yourself with your higher self, so you can die before you die. So when you die, you don't die.
That's some crazy.
Born again Christian. That's what the born again means. You know what I mean?
Paradigm. Wow.
And that's exact opposite, and that's a polarity of what we believed. Because we thought when we die, we go to heaven. Well, that is the truth, but you have to die while you're alive. And in this Emerald Tablets,
no,
here, I'm going to turn the page.
Is it dying while you're alive getting to the end goal, or is it considered
the knowing of all things? It's the knowing of all things that I just said in the because
once you get on the path of trying to go for this knowledge, doesn't basically your old self has died already?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but you have to make the union for it to. You have to complete the work. You can't just go halfway. Otherwise, you're going to be like the ones that are circumventing or not wanting to follow through, because that's part of the hero's journey, is the seeing the goal through the face of it, or through the storm. You know what I mean? And staying on that path. And what else? Nothing else matters but that. And that's in the songs too, nothing else, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Time marches on.
My son is stuck on the songs, the Metallica, Nothing Else Matters.
Yes.
And Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. He's on those two. Every now and then he'll throw in a little bit of something else.
This is so funny because I just turned this page, turned the page, and I was thinking of the song. But when thou hast learned to hold thine own balance,
will you let me sit down?
Then shalt thou draw on the balance of earth. Exist then shalt thou, while earth is existing, changing in form only when earth too shalt change. Tasting not of death, but one with this planet, holding thy form till all pass away. And then it goes on to say how to hold off the fingers of death by aligning yourself with the polarity of earth.
Wow.
But I mean, we would not exist on earth unless it resisted us. That's the whole, the whole earthquakes and it goes right in line with the allegory of if thou sees earthquakes and turmoil on earth, storms and pestilence and whatever, then in man's mind is the same.
A storm in the mind.
Yes, the eye of the storm.
Wow. The battle is in the mind.
Each has his own part to play in the cycles. Each has his work to complete in his way. The cycle below thee is yet not below thee, but only formed for a need that exists. For know ye that the fountain of wisdom that sends forth the cycles is eternally seeking new powers to gain. Ye know that knowledge is gained only by practice, and wisdom comes forth only from knowledge. And thus are the cycles created by law. Means are they for the gaining of knowledge, for the plane of law that is the source of the all. The cycle below is not truly below, but only different in space and in time. The consciousness there is working and testing lesser things than those ye are, And know just as ye are working on greater, so above ye are those who are also working as ye are, and yet other laws. The difference that exists between the cycles is only in ability to work with the law. We who have being in cycles beyond thee are those who first came forth from the source and have, in the passage through time space, gained ability to use laws of the greater that are far beyond the conception of man. Nothing there is that is really below thee, but only a different operation of law. That's essentially saying that there's tiers to our reality, and that answers the question of what's next is just a higher existence of the all.
Am I ready for that?
And in each step is just a step to get to the next step.
So I have a scripture going through my mind right now. It says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge."
Always.
And knowledge is power.
That's what's driven me this whole. That one message right there is what's driven me the whole time.
And that's what it's supposed to do.
Wow.
Yes. And it's amazing how when you cross-reference, and that's amazing to me because I've been to Bible camp my whole freaking childhood, you know, and the only verse I ever remembered was John 3:16, for he who believeth in me shall not perish but have everlasting life, you know, for God gave his only begotten son, you know.
That's been forever tarnished with me with
because
of Stone Cold.
3:17.
And it's funny you say that because Stone Cold is, you know, my last name, Stone, you know, and cold is the fire, the blue fire of truth.
Yeah.
You know,
well, when you start digging into the knowledge, you start realizing it's about life.
Yes.
So
life that is not life as we know it, though. Because everything is veiled in its own being. Everything is veiled to block out the night, you know, or to, and this is the reason why I start rhyming when I'm commenting is because of reading this stuff, and I'll do it, and sometimes I can't even control it. I won't even write a comment unless it rhymes. It's like Dr. Seuss of alchemy. The atmosphere parted and rolled back. Then we could look up through the open space in Orion, whence came the voice of God. The holy city will come down through that open space. That is the end all of the searching for the light. This is the divine effulgence, the union right here. And this was the what is it? Ellen White's what was it called?
I know her from something.
It was called the Great Controversy.
Man, when you were reading that, I saw like the kingdom of holiness, like walls and floors of purity descending from the heavens above all the heavens and coming down into the realm of Orion's belt, the god of chaos and war or whatever, and just laying its kingdom on top
Steve,
of
go back to that Jed pillar. Sorry.
Holy wow. Whoo. God.
And then I want to show you something.
Kingdom come. Ooh.
Oh, wait. Go back. Right. Go back. Let's see. I go back the other direction to the right. Was that image on?
That is so huge. Okay.
Which one?
Breathe.
Go back to the left.
Yeah, but it's not supposed to be something you see, right? It's not a visual thing.
Oh my God! If we're in a game of checkers, we have to. The frequency is.
You're talking that one with the Ankh holding up the red sphere?
Do that one for a second.
This one right here.
Now, why did you say 4?
Nothing. What happened?
4 because the Jed pillar has these 4 rings on it.
Oh, this makes me mad. I can't.
And you add truth to it, and that's the pillar that holds up the world or holds up the creation.
All right,
Which is-
let me show you this stone. I
Got the whole world in his hands. What's that
I walked
song?
through graveyards looking at the old Freemasonry stones. So let me show you something. Tell me what your opinion is.
Okay.
Oh, that's huge.
I grew up in a cemetery, by the way, across the street from one, and I lived in it my whole childhood. I'm not kidding. I climbed every gravestone in there. It was my playground.
Right. All right, I just look at this. Just look at this stone. Let's see.
We have anybody on YouTube still?
I haven't even looked. I haven't even paid attention. I shut my phone off
We
because
got
of it.
17.
I can't see
There's
anything.
17 people still watching 3.5 hours later. I wonder, see if anybody has been here the whole time. Well, I can hear myself talk.
Look at that.
Oh, that's cool.
You see that?
Been here
Yes.
for quite a while of it. If not the
Notice
whole
how there's
time.
1, 2, 3, 4 columns, and on
Miles.
the top they are they look like leaves, but they're actually serpent heads.
Yes. And that's the 4 pillars of Hercules, right?
Very interesting.
Yes. And you notice the triangles and everything, man.
And then look, here's another one. Files.
What really opened my eye, no pun intended, was the eye and the triangle for me. Oh my God, you know what that is? That's the 2 pyramids intertwined together.
That's the
So
house.
so if you were to look at the big stone I just showed you, on the
Yes.
outside around it are these things on each corner of it. When you look down on that, what really threw my eye is when the sun rises and hits that side. Do you notice that shadow?
Right here?
You notice how the left side is wider than the right side?
Right here, yep.
What
And you
the
said-
heck?
Wow, dude. Goosebumps, and I don't even know why I'm getting them. And look there's a shadow on every one of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You know what this reminds me of too is the tail on that dinosaur. Yeah, what was it called? But I mean also a mace. You know, of the Renaissance period.
In the dark.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or a bow tie.
Yes, but I think this is called the icosahedron or icosahedron or something like that.
But this was interesting to me the way the sun hits it, and then and it showed those shadows, and if you look at those shadows, the path on that left side is really wide.
When?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
The path on the left side is really wide.
So we need to figure that out. Why?
Well, what are you talking about? How the shadow on the left is that the
Spreads
longer,
out.
thinner strip?
Yeah.
Look at the above that shadow where the line is. So that's the bottom is 2 pyramids put together, and the top one is the capstone actually put on top of it.
All right, but
So that's like the top one actually had it. It's not squared up, I guess, completely with the walls. You know, it's like a little bit of an overhang. That's why that one's got the shadow on the left side there.
What, this one here?
That's what I see. Because when you look above the shadow to the left, where that
How do you do that?
the left corner is, the top, which would be the northwest corner, right there where that meets up, you can see it's off just a little bit.
Oh, off to the
top
right.
one,
Yeah, like
the
tilt
top one's
yard.
off a little bit. That tells me that that's actually overhanging it.
Yes,
So-
or it could be the fixed cross or the fixed galactic cross. You know, the fixed signs of the zodiac.
But that's what I think that is. That's like
I don't know.
like 2
I
pyramids.
just wondered if it was done on purpose.
Yeah, that was probably done on purpose in the design of it. I bet you if you get a little bit more of a downward angle looking at it from a side view, you would see a distinctive ring around that, you know, showing a pattern like
Now, I showed Steve this picture also. Let me show you this.
That is not making sense. I erased that.
Was that you drawing on it?
I touched a screen and
Drawn on what?
It looked like somebody drew a couple little squiggly lines on that.
that was
picture of
me.
Right here?
I was checking to see if my thing worked.
That's what I say too, and that's probably why they say, yeah.
Are you talking about right here?
Somebody's making lines on here, aren't they?
I'm gonna make lots of lines. Hold on. I'm learning.
I didn't know you could annotate other people's.
Oh my God.
I'm like a kid in a candy store. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't see how you annotate somebody else's, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can too.
I don't see them moving.
Woohoo!
I didn't know it was possible either. Wow.
Are you guys drawing?
I am humbled by
We're trying
my.
to manipulate our world. We're manifesting, man.
I actually set up a special treat for today, so people
How
weren't
do
just
I
seeing a
erase my
black
squiggle?
screen when I talked, and but you
Okay.
disabled the video. I was going to show you my
Wow.
my desk.
Oh, I can choose a
That's-
color?
I seen it. I seen the purple thing right here.
Oh, we're in trouble now.
Talking about this here.
Oh no. Hey, that's awesome.
Oh, come on.
She did it.
Hmm.
That purple
No,
thing
it
looks like
wasn't.
somebody's shoe or maybe
Blue.
sunglasses.
That's your picture, isn't it?
No. I was going to show them a video,
I can't
my
see
video
purple.
feed.
Okay, let's do.
So when I spoke,
green.
it would show somebody, but not
Me.
like me on the camera.
Oh.
I set up my little desk
Oh, come
pals
on.
or whatever you want to call them. I set them up so that they would be in the camera. And
God,
I was gonna do a thing where every time I come on, I move them to a different location in the room.
clear. Okay, clear it. Okay, clear.
Rodney, are you looking for a picture?
Are you
Yeah.
going to erase my squiggles or not? Come on, clear it.
4 hours almost, guys.
I'm going to need a
Yeah.
tutorial.
And I'm technically at work this whole time.
What? I want a job like yours.
How about highlight?
I keep hitting update and there's no tickets really. There was a few earlier, but I decided not to take them.
What do you mean? Are they just you got to navigate people's issues and?
Yeah, we got several
Oh, Lord have
clients, and
mercy.
if they have like a
Here
issue,
comes
they'll
the
How did I do that?
put it into the support ticket system, and then we remotely.
So you're like the Geek Squad.
Come on. No, I'm the Geek Squad. I'm the official Geek Squad.
We
Are there more
Geek
colors?
Squad are like level 0 techs. They don't know what they're doing. They're just like they're learning, and you get to pay them a lot of money to not diagnose your problem correctly and charge you for stuff you don't need.
Right. So how do you convince people to give you remote control of their computer?
Dang it.
They pay us.
What?
Well, I don't know how they convince people and stuff like that, but like just other things. Normally, it's just your relations with people and building that trust. It's like the whole thing with support is, IT support, where a lot of people don't get in IT is that, they just want to look at the side of things, the technical side of things, and don't kind of get the other side of things where people who aren't IT people have to use this stuff and be able to explain it to them. But so there's a lot. That's really where the trust factor builds in. But as a company, you sell yourself just like anything else. Like relate to them.
So does
You're still seeing his Rodney's image, right?
Do you see
Yeah.
an image?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the pyramid.
that same thing you were
The old
showing.
one? The old one?
The
Yeah,
one
the
that
with
looked
the
like a mace.
shadows.
Oh, you're still seeing that one. Oh, I see.
Oh, okay.
Angel's off in her own little world over here trying to do something else. What are you doing?
I'm trying to figure out how the screen works.
4 hours later.
I didn't know it was available.
You're so cute.
I'm learning. I'm like illiterate, technical.
4 hours later, I'm still figuring it out.
No, I'm not
Revolving.
figuring it out.
Some of these apps like this are really meant to be used on a PC.
Yeah.
They make a mobile version of it so they can say they made a mobile version of it, but
So they
getting
can
to
sell
the
it. Yep.
functionality of that in the mobile version is
Where'd my red
makes it
line
really
go?
sometimes unusable.
You got to hit the annotate button if you're trying to draw.
Well, I was just seeing if it would show up on the screen.
It will if you hit annotate.
Annotate?
Yeah, it's up in the view options.
Yeah, I heard that totally come out a different word.
Yeah, me too.
Well, you know what Buckwheat said to Mrs. Johnson when Mrs. Johnson says pick a word and use it in a sentence, right?
Sorry.
Huh? Do you guys know what Buckwheat said?
No.
He said, dictate. Miss Johnson, how am I dictate?
She tried to grip hers, I thought.
I'm trying to focus here.
That's one of my dad's jokes he told me when I was like 8.
Yeah.
I'm serious, and he told me this other sick joke that I can't say over the YouTube, but I mean about my sister borrowing the car from him,
Yeah.
and it ends with, "Oh shit, that's right, I borrowed the car to your brother."
Oh no. No.
In between, there's a whole hell of a lot of nastiness.
Sorry, I'm trying to learn. Okay. I got pen, highlight. What is a freaking arrow?
Rodney, are you still trying to find that image?
I found it. I'm just trying to get it to share.
Fucking with you.
No, I ain't talking.
Why does it keep hitting clear and then it don't clear?
We don't see anything that you're doing, by the way.
Me?
No, Angel.
No. I'm not,
You don't.
because I look
No,
like
we're not seeing anything you're doing
Well, it won't clear my line.
because you're in your own little drawing world over there by yourself, mucking up your own view.
How do I get out of it?
Well, who drew on the other one? Is that him, Rodney, that drew on that one then?
These lines right here?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm stuck again.
I don't know. I was wondering the same thing.
Because I'm drawing all over this thing right now, like, and clearing it, but it doesn't do anything. Like you said, I'm in my own little.
Okay.
Like mine right here. You see mine, right?
Yeah. How do you do
No.
that?
I think it's because I'm a host.
Ugh.
I'm the host with the most.
All right.
Do you see the one I put next to it? Who?
Oh, look
Who's
at
that?
This is what the most is. Oh, there it is.
Wait. Okay, we gotta stop. Are
Doggone.
people really gonna be watching us to do
Dang it.
drawings on Zoom
Yeah.
picture?
I was trying to see if it would work. Okay. I'm learning. I've never seen this before.
So wait, what happened to the share?
You be nice.
I don't know.
Click on my video for me for a second. I want to show you.
Here, say hi to everybody. Say hi. I'm the most.
Click on this.
Say hi.
Yeah, you gotta allow the camera option, I think, from the participants
I
menu.
gotta
Hold on,
make
tell you
you
to bark
the
down.
host. I'll make you a co-host.
You gotta make me a host for it. We had
A
video
co-host, yeah.
yesterday.
Eric R.
Go ahead. You can do your own.
Oh, I see something.
There you go.
I see eyes.
That's my little
What the hell is that?
That's my pets. That's the two little critters I got from the aquarium. One's a
Aw.
lemur. The other one's the penguin. They call him Lemon because he's a lemur. Lemon.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
And then my Excalibur from Warframe.
Caliber.
From where?
Warframe, this stupid game I used
Oh,
to
a computer online game.
Yeah.
Come
played
on,
it for
Belle.
a
Let's
while.
get a picture of you.
So you
Come
you
on.
went down the gamer road, did you?
You want to be famous?
Okay.
I had a IT guy control my computer once from like Guatemala or something. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Mm. What? How did that happen?
He fixed it.
I tracked my phone all the way back to Korea.
What, you took the battery out and read the back?
No, I tracked the bill on back to who was getting paid.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I just want to show you that. I was gonna do a little thing since yesterday you were the only one that had like camera, you and Barbara. So I was like, I gotta put the camera on. I don't want it to be on me the whole time. So I put that up to like so people had something to look at.
Look at them eyes. I see through you.
We should be almost there. Sorry. I had to go through all this.
You got to share again.
I see 4 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and eyes.
Yeah, I've got my box right there.
I got to figure out how to do that.
The little penguin with the big eyes, a little too creepy.
I think I froze it trying to put a picture on it.
Steve.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
What the? Wow.
Now, you need to pull that picture off, suck it in, and figure it out, because that's the same as the other thing, the Jed pillar.
Yes, it's a tree of life involved and everything. See, this is Pluto right here, the Keither.
Where?
And it's also the same as that gravestone.
Where do you see that correlation? Oh, the geometry of the tree of life?
Well, like the head is like the pyramid. If you go to that line, and then across.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
It's even got the pyramid shape behind the head.
Well, there's so much in that picture.
Yeah, that's everything. That's everything in. You see the severity of truth? This is truth right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And see how it's severe? The anatomy of an occultist. Look at, he's standing on a pentacle or a pentagram. Got the Ouroboros around his ankles. The snake eating his tail. The cube.
Yeah, explain what you're looking at too, because you can't really tell where you're pointing at in either Zoom or YouTube.
Okay, right here. The
right
Ouroboros at the bottom. You know, the snake right here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Look at her feet.
Gotcha.
And then, this is the male truth or omega. You see the omega symbol right here, intertwined on top?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Right here. This, right here, these two things. Right? Isn't that the omega symbol wrapped around the triangle and the cross right here on the right?
Oh, okay. You're looking at the top right pillar.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
We were still looking at the bottom, I think.
Yeah, I was at the bottom.
Look at this one. Okay, so the A is the triangle.
Taurus.
A is the triangle. The alpha and the omega is in all in one, because the A is the triangle, right?
Yeah.
Because this side has the omega symbol too.
That's it right there. And see the upward triangle for the divine.
Yeah, this
feminine.
is a negative, and this is the positive. Yep.
Yeah, with the divine feminine is a positive, and the divine masculine is a negative.
The ground.
So this is just what do you want to call? What do I want to call it? A
schematic
conglomeration of all of the symbolism.
Showing you the two sides of one thing.
Yeah, but I mean, it's showing you everything, because all of these little things are one of the same. You know, like this is the same as this, but on different level of magnitude or a different polarity or the opposite, but it's the same. You know, because it's a pillar, it's a Jed pillar, but it's a male and a female. Because if you look
inside the wing, it's like a bullseye.
Where's that?
See how the rings? You got ring.
Oh yeah. And the Keither's in the middle. Yeah.
Good God.
Like a dartboard.
Oh, dude, does the dartboard have 10 rings?
I think it does. I'd have to look at it again.
Or is it 7? Wow. But look at it, showing us the duat or whatever what is it called? The dot, or
they called it Keither.
The Keither's up here where Pluto is.
Yeah, but that's the ether where it keeps circulating through that symbol. Keeps coming around, always this same cycle.
The Keither is the wisdom which is born from knowledge and understanding, because Shakma is understanding, I believe, and Bina is the wisdom.
That
or
is
it's
what they program, ain't it? Like they say they can program the Earth to do things.
How do I? Oh, I can enlarge it right here.
So we have a sword.
You'll have to have Phil probably check that thing out. I found that a few days ago, and I'm like, that's some crazy shit there.
Chalice.
Yeah, see now, see this symbol right here? That's Uranus, isn't it?
Where are you?
The three, or is it Neptune? Neptune is the trident, correct?
Or is that the energy? From the sun? You know what I mean? It's coming.
And this one is what is this symbol?
That's how we're charged.
But Shakma is the wisdom, which is the fourth chakra or the third chakra? No, fourth, I believe. Yeah, the fourth, I think.
Which one's the? What are you asking about again? I'm sorry, I didn't.
But this is the tree of life here, you know. And then, remember, I showed you this is the symbol that was on top of that jet pillar. That's what clicked in your head, isn't it, Rodney?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you notice the one? You notice the ones there? The one is right there inside of the zero.
Oh, it sure. Wow. One and O at the same time.
Yes. It's the creation that creates the creation.
Yeah.
Quantum.
Yes. The one and the zero superpositioned.
Quantum of solace.
And look where it's at.
Yeah, right there where a pinealite is. It's coming right out of here. Boom.
What's the very top say?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one at the bottom that had the one.
What's the very tippy top say? I can't read it very well.
It's the mana or the many.
Is that what it says?
I think that's what it says.
I think you're right.
The man. Or no, the want.
The want.
I think it says the want.
It does.
Drives us.
Can you zoom in at all? Control and up on your mouse wheel.
Oh, yeah, we can. It's the many.
No, it's the want.
No, that's many.
Many.
Many. Want.
W-A-N-T.
Why would it be the many anyway? That's not. That would be English, and the rest.
Oh,
of
the many.
English.
No, the many. The many means they're all.
The one.
Yeah, but wouldn't many be an English term, and all the rest of that's not in English?
But you got to understand that even.
Well, I guess it is serenity, mercy down there.
Okay, now you guys do know that there's two names for God. There's the 4-letter in Hebrew, and then there's a 5-letter.
Mm-hmm.
The left side says Bina.
Yeah, Bina is the understanding. See what it says underneath? Understanding. And then Shakma is the wisdom. And you marry these two, and you get the Keither.
They're backwards.
You marry the Shakma and the Bina, because right now we're at wisdom. We're learning the wisdom, and we're trying to understand the wisdom.
Right.
And then you marry these two, and you get this, and it creates a triangle. And it gets capped with the capstone, which is the effulgence. And you notice how the effulgence comes down in the shape of a triangle as well. It's the thing that's in lieu, in the and isn't it weird? It's called in lieu, you know what I mean? The museum, the lieu,
right?
In lieu.
Right.
This is that's some French word.
Is that the want? I swear it says want to me.
I don't know.
But this is Ein Sof. That's what the tree of life is called sometimes. Ein Sof.
Oh.
The Ein Sof is the monad or the pleroma, I think. And look at does this say aim or air?
Look at Malkuth. Remember you kept talking about Malkuth?
Malkuth is the root, is earth. And you know how Matt was saying how kingship was lowered down from heaven?
Yep.
That's from the Kether to the Malkuth. And that's exactly when I got to Danny Wilton's information. What's manifest in the Kether in the Allspark manifests on Earth, the Malkuth. Right here.
I really didn't even notice the Kundalini snakes spiraling.
That's
up.
why I say it can be programmed.
But that's our DNA too. You know, the Kundalini snake is our DNA as well.
Too. Well, see, the air point down's your ground. You know how the even electricity, it runs back. You know what I mean? That's your electricity, your energy coming up.
How do you
to the earth?
Yeah, one of them says Jake and one says Boaz, like the Freemasons say.
Well, what's that? I don't even know. I'm not familiar with that term.
Well, if you ever look at any Freemason stuff, you'll always see two pillars.
Yeah, because that's the temples on either side of our head.
And one's Jake and one's Boaz. I'm not sure why they're named that. Or Jakeen, maybe. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, here's Mercury. Had, Nedsack. What's that? No, I don't know. Nutsack.
Nutsack.
Doc.
Look at that. Here's the matrix cube.
It'd be lower.
Here's the matrix cube of the Hebrew alphabet. I think right here, Rubik's cube. Isn't Rubik a Hebrew word too? Rubicon or
Rubicon, crossing the Rubicon.
What is that?
To cross the Rubicon. I always thought Rubicon was a river.
It looks like they got lines pointing to that, like to that little cubicle thing there, going to that dagger on the right side pillar.
Oh yeah. I seen that.
And like the cup is pointing down to like the knee or something on the other side.
The cup is a chalice female, and it's going. They're both going to the pentagram, I think. Those lines that you were talking about.
Are they both going to the pentagram? Okay.
Yeah, and here, look at here's the vortex math principle right here.
Steve, suck that off so you can save it.
I'm not a sperm bank.
Oh. I know.
See how my mind
there
works.
A long time ago.
I have a friend that's he's gay. He's been cutting my hair for like 25, 30 years. He's always like, "Oh, I just want to go to a sperm bank for lunch." I was like, "Oh, good Lord, man."
It's like a
buffet.
You're gonna have to send me that, man, because I can't do that through my computer.
Okay.
But hey, guys, you know, my wife is gonna be coming home soon, and I gotta act like I was doing something other than talking to you guys all day. Hey, I've gotten a lot out of this, guys, and I hope you have. You know.
Yeah, appreciate all the other people on the team sticking with
we
us.
sure are trying at the very least.
Yes,
well, you know, I think if nothing else, a couple of us have actually got some well-needed therapy out of our, you know, telling of what bothers us and what are, you know, out of the whole
like
conversation.
Counseling.
Yes, counseling, correct.
Wait till you guys get my bill. I charge big dollars.
I'll just counter that with a bigger bill.
Exactly. Yeah, all the technical stuff you can counter back. So I guess we just zero it all out.
Yeah. Right. All right, guys. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
and
love y'all.
From this day forward, I think we're going to limit it to 2 hours at the most. You know, so we're going to have to, you know, so it's not so much dead time. We're not so relaxed on, you know, just telling our stupid jokes about buckwheat and whatnot.
I think the people that watch it are already here, pretty much. A lot of them.
Probably.
Apparently we got nice
Sorry, guys,
tornado
this is my
weather.
first time. I'm learning this how to operate.
She's still trying to figure out her phone.
Who's drawing lines still?
You
We
can go
love
back
you.
in, Steve,
Sorry, guys.
and edit it, chop out all the dead time.
Yeah, I don't go through all that.
Well, at least
It
we
was a
found
rough
out.
liftoff.
I spend all of my time talking to you guys, or or whatever. I don't do anything. I mean, anybody who's followed my work knows that I'm not an editor.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
from when I was pointing out stuff in the clouds.
Hey,
Wonder if that's
technology
so
isn't so easy.
binary.
It's kind of hard to edit when you're using a phone for it.
Right. It's kind of funny that everybody that wakes up is looking at the sky, though, isn't it? So what's up there?
Yeah.
That's common. The soul, guys, because we are a soul family. All right, love you guys.
Run it through the ether.
Love you. Be careful.
Take her easy.
Bye-bye. I'll send you that.
Yeah, make sure you do. Later,
All right.
Runky. Later, Angel.
brother. Later.
Thank you.
Love y'all.
I gotta figure out how to get out of here. Gotta get out of here.
Oh, there's the 69.
Bye.